Hey everyone, it's Robbie. I want to thank you for watching this video, which is a recording of a live stream I did. If you'd like to catch a stream live, check out the description box below for a link to my Twitch channel. There, you'll be able to find a schedule for what and when I stream. I have a pretty regular schedule, so if you can, stop by and say hi. Thanks again, and enjoy the video. I've noticed when I've the past couple of streams that my audio was really low, and it was a little harder to hear me unless you turned it up quite a bit louder. So I turned it up. I did get to play around with it a little bit, so I've turned it up quite a bit. Did some test recordings earlier today, and it seems like it's working out pretty well. So hopefully that'll be fixed from now on. We will see, though. I also just got the game up and going here. I think you can hear just a little bit in the background here. Let me switch over to the main camera here. So I've already got it pulled up and everything. So let's see. We'll get the game going again. Now, if you haven't joined us before, this is what we've nicknamed, or we've called Fryersburg. And so this is kind of pretty much the main city right now. Just kind of give you a little bit of a tour. This middle section here, along the river, to the right of here, just kind of down to the edge of the map for right now. Up here is really downtown Fryersburg. It's where all the high density commercial and residential areas are. And as you get towards the south city, you get to our section called Evergreen Place, I think is what it's called. Don't remember what this place was called. It's Evergreen something. And it is covered up by this building here. Evergreen Terrace, which is not showing up on the map. I just realized that. This whole section, it's almost like our Beverly Hills kind of place. Real high-end housing and things like that. Really good schools there. Things like it's a nicer part of town. And then we were working on this area a little bit. This is called Governor's Plaza. Governor's Plaza is kind of our government section of our city. We also have a couple stadiums, or we have a stadium here. I think this is just another stadium. So that's really nice. If we move out to the west here, we have what we've called Holly Branch. Holly Branch is like the only suburb of Fryersburg we have right now. But it's kind of the low-density housing, really big farming community that we're actually going to do some upgrading on today. This would actually replace the original Holly Farms, which is pretty much where Governor's Plaza was now. It was our farming area. Up here we actually do have our zoo. It's a 4-star zoo. It looks very nice up there. But if we move to the other side of downtown Fryersburg, we get into some more industrial area. Garnet Heights is actually a mining area that's really nice. But this is just some general industry and some offices that we placed down last time. But if we keep on moving out east here, this is what we call the west side. And this is kind of the entertainment, kind of nice, ritzy part of town. But this is also where the boardwalk is coming in. I don't know why it's doing all that. That's a little bit odd. Wasn't doing that beforehand, but that's okay. Now, this is the west side boardwalk area. So this is our beach, and then we got a nice entertainment district down through here. I'm pretty proud about that. But if you guys were looking at the gaming news, anything like this on Steam this last week, you'll know that Paradox had a big sale this weekend, and so a lot of City Skylines DLCs were on sale, some for like 75% off and 50% off. So I went and picked up 3 of them. So I got Green Cities, I got Industries, and I've got a University. So we have all 3 of those to play with today, and so we can make quite a few big changes to our city and build quite a few new areas. So the first thing I was thinking of is we need to upgrade our industries, because right now we do have this nice ore industry here, right along this highway, which is perfect, and right in this area that I think we can really take full advantage of that. Our forestry is quite spread out here, but we do have quite a bit, as long as we have a huge area of ore here. So we might actually move over here and make the ore area available. Since we have oil somewhere, it's at the very bottom right next to Evergreen Grounds. I don't know if I like it being there. We do have some up here next to the west side, so we might actually take advantage of that along with this ore here. And of course, Holly Farms, or Holly Branch farms. It's over some fertile land as well, so we can take advantage of all of this and actually have some really great stuff going on there. So I do want to start with that. I also want to hopefully build a university during this stream. I don't know quite yet. I've built both just a generic university and a technical school. I like both of them. So I don't know yet. We might, I want to try and maybe build all three of them. But the other thing that I was kind of intrigued about was the Green Cities mod. And I got to thinking, I actually had started another city just to play around with those 3 packs. And I started playing with the Green Cities one quite a bit in like an experimental prototype city. Kind of see where I'm going with this. And so I thought maybe our next suburb could be down here somewhere. I think I'm going to buy the next square when we get the opportunity to. And actually build a prototype city just based on green housing, based on all electric vehicles and things like that. I kind of want to see how that would look. Essentially, I want to build the original idea for Epcot. If you guys don't know, Epcot at Walt Disney World actually stands for Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow. And when Walt Disney originally designed that, he actually wanted to build a city in Epcot. Epcot wasn't supposed to be an amusement park. The only amusement park actually at Disney World was supposed to be Magic Kingdom. And the rest of it was actually supposed to be a city. So I want to kind of create a city like that as one of our suburbs. I think that'd be kind of fun to do. But that I think is going to be a little bit later. We have to get to the next unlock stage, which I believe is 40,000 people. So yeah, so it won't take us too long. We're already almost at 38,000 people. So that won't take too much longer. So yeah, let's go ahead. I think I want to go ahead and start and work on some industries. So I want to start with Garnet Heights. I think is going to remain our main industrial area here. But we're going to make this kind of loop around here. Kind of pretty much encompass this area with Garnet Heights. They call it the Highland. I wanted to call it Garnet Heights. Garnet H-E-I-G-H-T. Yes. Oh, Garnety Heights. That's not quite it. Go on. There we go. Something like that, and then we can place some ore specialization down in here. I'll just place it right there, and so it gives us all of our industries that we need. Now, what I have kind of for the time I've played with the industries right now, there is the industries itself. They really don't need any of the like growable ones. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to dezone this whole section here. Kind of let those demolish themselves, and then we're going to start building our ore extraction areas around it. So let's go down here. Small ore mine, place them just kind of along there. We're pushing about somewhere we're up to about 3,000. I think if we actually build more this way, we'll have a little bit better luck. We're at 4,800 over here, and I think that's what the max for the small one maxes out at. So let's move our other ones down here. I know it's going to cost us just a little bit of money, but I think that will more than make up for it in how much ore we're going to be getting from those. So let's see here. And since we've done that, we really don't need these power lines anymore, so we can get rid of those. Like how that looks. Let's see here. Let's get some water going to these guys. I have got an itchy nose this afternoon. Let's see here. Let's get this up and going. We also need an ore grinding mill. We need probably 2 of those, actually. And I want to put those outside kind of our ore area, so where there's not really much ore to be gotten. But there's enough there to... Out of power? Oh no, I guess we don't have power linking this area up. So that would be an issue. So what we're going to do, we're going to move this firehouse down to here. So we have one area of power that we need to use. And then we will just run a power line to there. And that should be fine. So now we can start producing some ore over here. Let's see, what is this? Oh, that's just, that's UR uranium. I think that was our first factory we ever built in our town, or into our ore area, and I think we're just about to demolish it. So, well, unfortunate, we're moving on. We're expanding our industries, and I think this will work out really well. So while we got that going on, we can go ahead and start building up a farm area. Now, I don't think we'll delete any of the Holly Farms area, because that is a rather large area that we'd have to demolish, and we really do need those industries. So what I'm going to do is upgrade this and put the industry area in. There is some good fertile land here still, so I'll make it something like this. So we still might remove some of the farms that are there, but we'll ultimately replace them with other farms here. So I'm going to call this the Holly Branch. Come on. Branch Co-op. Because that seems like what they would do. And then we'll go ahead. I keep hitting my microphone. I maybe need to get another boom for this thing because I've got it really stretched out here, but that's okay. So we'll put the main farm building there. And then I'll lock a bunch of stuff for us. And then we'll go ahead and, let's see, maybe right there. Drag a road out. I know usually we do dirt roads here, but I think with all the industries that we're going to be doing, probably not the worst idea just to put in, move that road down one more. Just to put in some paved roads, because this is going to be rather busy through here, so that's what I was concerned about. So, do something like this. Let's keep on going just down this row here. I love how these look too, because this is all wheat now. You can actually change the crop. Something I didn't know until I was playing a little earlier. But you can change these to like potatoes. You can make a whole cornfield. You can make cotton fields, make potatoes, or you can actually make it look like a greenhouse. But I kind of like the idea of just have this big wheat field, especially how it kind of conforms to the terrain. It's actually really nice looking. But because of this, we will need somewhere to actually storage I haven't really figured out yet. I just for some reason for some reason they don't make sense to me. Maybe I'm just using them wrong. Essentially what we're doing, what kind of our industry right now is we're taking, I'm going to change these up a little bit. Right now what we're doing is we are taking the crops we make over here, and we can sell those outright. We just sell them out to the world, and no big deal, which works pretty well. But we also can turn those, if we take them from here, move them over to our pastures here, we actually can make animal products out of them. So we actually have pigs, 2 different kinds of cows, and sheep. Now it really doesn't matter what's in here. That's really just more for aesthetics. But it's still kind of nice to see that. I'm thinking it might not be a bad idea just to have a few silos on this end, something like this, so that trucks over here can actually. I'm actually going to do something I think is kind of nice. Build a road this way, so they actually have a place to U-turn and they can just come right back to the street here. But now all the guys here, once they produce crops, they can drop them off here. And then these buildings will dispatch their own trucks to actually drop them off to these places. I think that's how that's going to work. I don't quite know, but I think we'll at least see how it goes. And we'll wait for that to see what happens. So we got all this. So we do need to build up some more workers. We have plenty of room for workers. So if you don't know how industries work, from what I can gather, the 2 ways they upgrade, they need 2 things. They need to make enough resources, so in this case crops or animal products. They need enough workers, so we need 150 workers. But if you look here, we have enough capacity here for 270 workers. Most of those are uneducated workers, but they can be filled by other places as well. It seems like our city is actually pretty well educated. We're up to 32 people, so they're actually about even as that. Some of this, I do want to click on all 3 of these, and I'll do that for the other one too. This helps upkeep, and it does increase the workers' health. This one produces output, and this one increases storage capacity for both extraction and processing buildings. And it increases the cost of it. So there's a little bit of pros and cons to everything. So essentially how this works is you have 3 different kinds of buildings in industries. You have extractors, which in this case is the fields. They actually produce something. And in the ore processing area, it's the ore mines. And then they'll take this, they can either sell this outright or they'll go to the second building, which is the storage building. These storage buildings will store the material or whatever it is, ore, oil, crops, or what's the other one? I think I don't remember what the other one is. Shoot, where is it? It is forestry products, so lumber. And then they'll take that to a processing building. And these processing buildings actually will take that first basic crop and turn it into something else that we can use. So in this case, it produces animal products, oil. It can produce plastics or petroleum. Oil fields, you produce metal or fiberglass, I believe it is. And once you produce that, you can sell those outright. You can make a pretty good amount of money off those once you produce enough. Or what you can do later on, we will get special buildings down here. These are unique factories. You can only put one of these in your cities. But let's take this one, for example. We'll take that one. Let's see. Plastics, toy factories. So you can kind of see how these look. But like this lemonade factory. This lemonade factory, you need to have both crops. So you need to grow enough crops in the city. And you also need to make metal in your city. You'll combine those two and you'll make a luxury good. And that luxury good can actually be sold pretty well. So that is kind of how industries work. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this so far. But I think I have an okay grasp on how to do it. So we'll leave the farms going for right now. We have our mining industry up and going. Let's make sure, though, that... actually get all 3 of these going here. So we have enough workers, plenty of workers actually, and then we just need to work on the resources. So we'll let these go. We won't have to worry about those for now. I'm also thinking about starting a lumber one down here, just so that we can have 3 of the 4 industries going, and then once we unlock another square or 2, we can get oil going as well. I think that'll be up here maybe. Where do we say that there was a bunch of oil at? There's some down here. I don't know if I'll take advantage of those, but I will take advantage of this over here. So we actually already have it unlocked, so we might just build all 4 really quick, just to kind of show off all 4 of those. So what I'll do here is I will extend the highway out to its fullest potential here. So I think it will be out here somewhere, and I believe that's where the forestry is technically. Yeah, so this is technically where it's located at. And then I'll dead end this into a 6-lane road for this industry here. And we'll bring out the other end here. Something like this. And like that. Then we'll reverse this highway so we have a way to get out of here. And now I think we can actually kind of bring Holly Branch down here as well. Because I think that's where most of the people is going to be coming from, is from Holly Branch. So we'll go ahead and just kind of zone the rest of this too to make sure that they're growing as well as we need them to. So let's go ahead and put the forestry down. We do need to actually grow the zone out really quick. Something like this. Called the Concord Complex. It's not bad. It's a little bit of a tongue twister, but it's kind of neat. So we'll fill that one down there, and then we'll extend the road, this main road, all the way out to the river here, like so. And then we'll need power and water, of course. Let's see here. We got water from there. We can actually, I'll just bring it across the river over here. That'll probably be the easiest way to do that. And then we'll get power from there. Yeah, I think that works. I'm trying to think what else we need here. We'll need some extractors. So we'll need to get some plantations. What are they called in this one? I think they're called, you know what? Come to think about it, let's actually make this at least a 4-lane road, because this is where all of our, a lot of our lumber is going to come from. So let's go ahead and actually do that. And then we'll go ahead and drag this out here like so. Now we can place down these buildings out here. These fit perfectly into it. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to delete these out here. And I'll show you why I'm doing that. I'll place the forest along here. I'll place 4 on each road. Because even with these, I do like to make them a little bit nicer. Oh, there we go. I thought I messed that up, but I didn't. Number one, I can just run a pipe down through here and get all of them at once. Now, all 4 of these will, or all 8 of these will not try to crowd onto one road. That's always nice. But something I found out in one of my other plays, if I put one of these dirt paths down, or the gravel path, I should say. If I put one of those down through there, it just makes it look really nice. I don't know why. It kind of looks like there's a way you can drive back there, kind of with a like a small pickup truck or whatever, and kind of just look out for it. Yeah, and then we have to do one more thing here. We need one of the processing buildings. We also need a storage area for it. So we'll go ahead and put the storage area on this end. We'll put 2 processing plants down there. We will need power to those and water, but they're already linked to power there. So if we can just bring this across to here, and we'll bring it around and down. Eventually we'll actually have all those connect up, so we don't have to worry about that right now. But that should be taking care of all of that for now. Looks great. Yeah, so now we got 3 of the 4 industries going. We'll get the 4th one going here. I'll be honest with you, I didn't plan that. I didn't know that we had all 4. I didn't know we had all 4 of these materials in our city until I actually went and looked when I turned the stream on. So that is pretty neat that we are at least able to do stuff like this. Let's see here. We'll do something like that. We will draw our oil industry out like this. So I really kind of want to put that our main building over here. Oh, there we go. I'll put it on this side. Looks like, but that's okay. We'll do something like that. Allow us to get into there. But I do want to put our oil pumping areas or our extractors over here. So right now we are maxing out at 4,800, but I think we're also maxed out over here. So you know what? I might actually put these out here. The reason is that since we have such a large, patch over here, I'm kind of waiting for the large ones to get out there. We might be able to actually get those a little bit easier with them and get more out of it with the larger ones. Now we'll have to run power out to there, but that's no big deal. Don't quite know where I want to run power from, though. That's kind of the issue. Let's actually do something like this. We'll zone a little bit of just high-density commercial here. And then that'll bring out some power, so we can just run it through there. And then we can run this power across the road. Come on. So raise the power line up a little bit before bringing it over there. Come on. There we go, and there. So there's that taken care of. So I'll start extracting some oil for us. In the meantime, we will be processing some of it. We'll just process it there and there. And this processes into just petroleum, which is just fine for what we got going on right now. And we'll place that there as well. Sorry, I woke up this morning, my nose is really stuffed up. I feel okay, it just, you know, a little bit out of it, I guess. So yeah, so now we got all 4 industries going. I think we have enough Let's also get this industry going as all 3 of those. It does cost us a little bit more, but it also helps grow that industry a lot faster. So I'm okay with that. Make sure I did it for over here too. I did not. Let's do that as well. Because that always helps us if we're getting those industries up as fast as we can, especially with a city this big. With the other one, I kind of had the opportunity to grow the industries while the city was growing, so that was kind of nice. So we're still waiting on building the airport, and that's what I was kind of That's what I'm like. I was looking at this area to build our next suburb with, but I think we got some water issues down here. But I think with all that, I think I want to build it down here, especially since it's really a prototype community. And we can have this barrier here between kind of the main city and this kind of experimental city. I kind of like that. And I also think this is where my technical school is going to go. So if you look in the universities here, there are actually 3 different universities you can build. You can build a trade school, you can build a liberal arts college, and then you can build just a university. And then this is the varsity sports, this is the museums, and then this is the content creator packs. So that's for something else. But if you notice here, Holly Branch has hit level 2, so we got a bunch of different stuff. We get the flour mill, bakery, farmers works, barracks, the cattle shed, and the small barn. So the small barn is just another storage building. This is another processing building. This is, I think, the unique factory, one of the unique factories you get for farming. This is kind of an interesting one. So this increases the productivity of a industry area by 5% up to 200%. And then this is another like cow field. So this is like a processing center. So since we got that, let's go ahead and run a road out here. We'll have it connect up there. And let's see here. Do something like this. We don't have to place this in the industrial area, so we'll go ahead. Oh, we do have to place one in the industrial area. Let's go ahead and drag this one out to here, because I do kind of want to place the bigger, like the bakery and stuff like that there and there. Small animal pastures. Let's see here. The cattle sheds. It's same thing as the cow fields, so we haven't got any of the larger extractor buildings yet, which is totally fine. We'll do something like this though and bring it up to there. We need to expand this area just a little bit more. Didn't want to make another bakery there. Let's do something like this, because I want to put a couple of these barracks down, because these increase, each one of these increases the productivity by 5% all the way up to 200%, so that's really nice. And I believe on the farm one I can get away with a 2x2, and I can build a lot of them in here. So let's do something like this, like there, and like there, and like this. It's gonna be a little crowded in here, I will admit that. So we'll pause it so we can get the water in. Something like that, and then we can run the water out here. But each one of these increases it by 5%, so there's 20, 40, 60% more efficiency just in these buildings here. I think that's how that works. Double check here. If you click on these buildings, actually it's 170%. So we really don't need that much more. We can actually have it up to 100%. So let's do something like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that gets it up to what? 190? Maybe, because it might not be enough because I don't have the water connected up to that one. See how this works out. See if maybe just the water was having some issues. It's still having water issues. Are we having issues with water all across the city, or maybe not? That might just be capped out at 190. So let's put 2 more down real quick. Put them here and here. And that should get us up to 200 now. 195. 200, there we go. So now all these, if you look here, these are only producing 4,800. Now they're producing just over 5,500. Almost, so we've almost increased this by 1,000 by not doing any, just by placing these buildings down. So that helps quite a bit. This is, we've produced a lot more just in these. The problem is traffic's going to be an issue. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a one-way system. Something like this. I know we're going to be removing a couple farms, which is unfortunate, but it does need to happen. So what will happen is that, let's also get a road this way and up. So the only way you'll have to come down through the farm is this way. So you'll actually only be able to go this way. And then we'll make a road just going this way up to there. And that should help alleviate this, because you won't be able to be stuck here. You'll have to go all the way around to drop anything off here at the silos, or from here if you're dropping off, or if you're like dropping corn or anything off over here. That looks like it's helped clear out some of that. So let's see how this works. Make sure that nothing else is going on here. You can see a lot of these guys were actually trying to drop off over here, and they were just getting stuck over here by these silos. Yeah, I think that'll work out a lot better than it was. Okay, so let's make sure nothing else is getting backed up over here. Doesn't look like it. How's the ore mining going? Still not doing too bad. I noticed in my last playthrough here, if you notice here, that this drops off really quickly. We're only producing 1,300 units of ore a week now. Let's see here. If you look here, this goes away pretty quick, unfortunately. And so we might have to move over here no matter what, and then at that point we can actually kind of rezone this as other stuff. But it's unfortunate, but it does happen. Oh crap! My oil refinery's on fire. Usually not a good thing when something like that catches on fire. Place another fire. Also need one for over here as well, so it's not like. Let's actually place another one, like a bigger one. Right there. Right there, probably, to help cover the west side, I think that'll be a lot better. Alright, so we've got the west side done. We don't quite have the people yet. Let's see, Garnet Heights, so the ore industry just hit level 2. So we'll take care of that right now. We're not really doing much else for this. Here's the other thing, though. So we can build these new underground facilities, and these do produce a lot more. Which I think is kind of interesting, because we actually have a big tunnel here. These are actually all going underground. So, oh crap, that's not what I wanted to do. So let's go ahead and get rid of a couple. Well, let's get rid of all these, because these should produce more than those. And we'll just put them right down here. So it seems like more of the ore is down here than it was kind of up here. So we'll let this go to where we produce 7,200 ore per week. I think I'm starting to lose it a little bit, but let's see here. We got ore grinding mill. We also have the glass. We actually have the glass manufacturing plant. So let's go ahead and put one of those down real quick, something like that. So on their way out, they can just drop it off there. But also, we have access to the barracks now over here. Also, realized we didn't place down any storage area. So let's go ahead and place just one storage area down there, like so. Power going. Okay, so placing that down helped. There we go. Let's go ahead and put those barracks down as well, just so that we can. So now the forestry area just leveled up. So biomass pellet plants. We actually got a furniture factory, some more storage, the workers barracks, and now the small sapling field. So we'll have to go take care of that here shortly. Now, if you notice on these are massive. These are quite about 2 times the size of the ones as the farms are. So unfortunately, we can't place down quite as many in the same area. But we'll place down a couple of them. We'll do about 7 or 8. There's a couple on this road here. Need to probably redo power here, like that. So yeah, that's all taken care of now. Hopefully this will help boost it a little bit. This will boost it up to 140%, which is not terrible. But I don't think we're going to keep that one for very long. So I will, I don't want to spend too much money on it right this second. But down here I do want to spend some money because we just got the we got a couple things, didn't we? Did we get the biomass heat? Yeah, we just got the biomass heat or biomass pellet plant. I won't get the biomass heating plant, but that's from Farm Simulator. Let's see. So we got that. We also got the workers' cabin and the small orchards. I believe the small orchards have the chance to produce more than these guys do. Yeah. So I think we're going to go ahead and tear up at least 4 of these, and then place down these orchards here. They're a little more organized as well. You know what? Well, I think we need to do the whole thing. Because, I mean, that's what, 20, let's see. It's just, I think it's like 1,200 or 1,400 more products a week. It doesn't seem like a lot, but when you add that times 8, that's what? Just over 9,000 more units every week. It adds up pretty quick. So, and especially with these, so we got the sawmills here. That are creating the plain timber. We also have these creating paper now. With that, I believe we have a couple here. So we have the industrial steel plant. This will take metals and create them into steel. The bakery takes animal products and crops and flour. So we needed all 3 of those to produce pastries. But this furniture factory takes both paper and lumber and turns it into furniture. I don't believe I've had this one yet. So let's go ahead and place one of these down. Slope too steep. They're letting me build it along here. So yeah, so we'll have some. So it needs to take plain timber, which we're creating, and paper, which we're creating, and make it into furniture, so we can sell that. Mr. Muskie, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it, sir. And so we're just setting up things here. Let's see here. What else do we need? We have the paper going, so I think we'll just run just for a little bit. We might need to add a couple more extractors just to get some more lumber going. And as I say that, the oil one levels up. So the first level or 2 is pretty quick. So hopefully we can get some other stuff done after this. Let's see here. So we did get a larger extractor. We also got the barracks as well. And we also got, I think, another unique factory out of this. Yeah, I think we got the household plastics factory, which we will set up one here just shortly once we get some of the more extractors out here. Go ahead and place a couple of these along here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do something like that. I'm actually not doing too bad today. A little bit a little bit congested. I don't know. The weather here where I live has been crazy. Last week it was like in the 50s pretty much all week and kind of cold, and it wasn't too awful bad. And then this week it was like 70 and 80 degrees like a couple last days, but it has been raining nonstop for the past 3 days. So I don't know if just I have allergies, so it could just be that acting up a little bit. But other than that, I'm actually been doing pretty good. I've been playing some City Skylines. I got some new DLC packs over the weekend due to the Paradox sale. And so we've been playing around with those. That's why we've been trying to build up the industries here in Fryersburg. But yeah, I'm not doing too bad. How are you guys doing today? While we're looking on that, we also want to get some new processing buildings going here. We're out of money though, because I know a lot of this stuff is rather expensive. So unfortunately, we have to kind of wait. We're actually making quite a bit of money though, so it shouldn't take too long to get this. But we will have to wait on that just for a little bit. I'm thinking we expand this down here a little bit more just to kind of help fill in this area. I know we kind of built this on this cliff side here, but I'm wondering if we can just draw a few roads down like this. That's good to see that you're doing well. I'm glad to see that. I mean, One of the reasons I started doing this is because, um, unfortunately, right now I'm out of work. The company I used to work for actually closed down in October, and since all the pandemic has been going on, I haven't been able to find a new job, which is kind of unfortunate. I don't remember what map this is, to be honest with you. I know it's one of the tropical maps. I can look it up a little later, but I don't remember which map this is. I know it's not one of the new maps because I started this about 2 weeks ago. I'll have to look up which one it is, but I'll get back to you, and I will tell you what map this is a little later. But yeah, I haven't been able to find anything. So because of all this, I started to start streaming, and this is what's kind of come of it. I've actually been really enjoying it the past couple of weeks. I say couple of weeks. This next Monday, the 25th, will be the 3-month anniversary of me streaming on here. So I'm not 100% sure. It's like I haven't really done anything like special streams or anything like that. I mean, I think let's see here. Let's see if I save the game, it will show me Fryersburg. It doesn't show it on here. Let me back out here. So I'll save the game here. I'll show you what it is real quick. If I quit to main menu, it should show me on there. Well, it's like, for my stream, it's a little bit weird because sometimes, so this is, I'm trying to think here. This would be my 11th week of streaming. When I originally did my streams I did things like Evil Genius and things like that. I would have like 10 or 12 people watching because that game, there's not very many people playing it. And that's a great game. So let's see here. Don't see it on here, so I will have to go into, if I click on new game, I can figure out which one it is. Wasn't any of those. It was one of these, it wasn't Dust Bowl, it wasn't any of those. Cavern Coast. I don't remember what map this is. I don't think. I remember it was a tropical, like, setting. So, something like this, maybe. I'm trying to think. That almost looks like it. Let me just pop open a game real quick, and then we can see which one, if this is truly what it is. So, no, it's like, I've had some good streams, I've had some down streams. I'm kind of on a little bit of a downtime right now. But I mean, I have, I think, 17 or 18 followers, so it's not like it's a bad thing. It could very well be Cavern Coast. I'm looking it up right now to make sure. I thought it was this one, though. And, yeah, it's a fun little map. It's a little bit different, just having that, I've played on quite a few different maps, usually which is big rivers and things like that, but with having a big lake like that there, it's a little bit different because, I could, build around that lake, but trying to build over it and things like that, it's a little bit difficult. And there's one section there that, just up north there, it's kind of this, shoot, or what's called now. It's like you got a river on one side, you got the lake on the other side. It's kind of just almost an island with the mountains behind it. So, is this map. Whatever map I just loaded up. So it's this one right here. So I don't remember which one this was. Let me go look it up real quick. That was the one I'm playing. With this series, that is. Let me look this up. Just give me a moment here. Cavern Coast. Yeah, that makes sense. So that's what I was playing on. So let me load back up Fryersburg here. Yeah, so that's the way. I think I picked one at random. Like, what, this looks fun. I'm gonna go play it. So that's the one. I just something I hadn't played that map before, so I thought it'd be kind of fun. So yeah, let's get this back loaded up, and then we'll. I think we'll kind of leave industries alone for right now. I think I want to go ahead and start building one of the universities. I think I want to maybe do a liberal arts one just because I haven't seen one of those yet. I've played with the other two. I've gotten another map I've got a fully upgraded tech college as well as I almost have a fully upgraded university. So I've pretty much seen both of those. Which is kind of nice. But on DLCs, though, I have every one of them except for the new one, which is Sunset Harbor. Still don't have that one yet. With not, being out of work for the last, about, hold on, 7 months now, I've been trying to keep a little bit tighter reins on my money. But, over the weekend they had a big sale, and so they had all the DLC packs except for the new one, like 50 or 60% off. So I bought them for like $20 for the last 3. So I have all of them. So it would be Snowbound, public, or not public transit. What was the one with the monorails? I don't remember what that one's called. Universities, industries, green cities, park life, and the transport one, which was mass transit. Park life I actually got for free. I think 2 weeks ago now. Paradox just gave it away for free if you sign up to their newsletter. And I thought that was well worth it, so I just went and signed up for it. Got Park Life for free, and that's how we started this Let's Plays. I wanted to see how the Park Life DLC was going, or how it would be, and so that's why I started playing this series. And just so happened that they had a huge sale, and I got the rest of them recently. So it's the only one I'm really missing besides the radios. I wasn't a huge fan of the radios because I usually don't play with the radio on. Is the Sunset Harbor one. I just don't have that one yet, which is okay. I'm still making a great city without it, so I think it'd be kind of fun to see some of that stuff, because I think the fishing industry looks interesting, especially with this like big lake here. I think we could have a good time with that. But the trolley buses and things like that, the hubs, I think they'd be nice, but I really don't need them. Kind of makes sense like that. So yeah, let's get incorporating more of the other mods into the, or not mods, but other DLC packs into the game. Other one I've been playing around with is the biofuel buses. I think that's actually a really neat idea. So we'll place one of those down there, and hopefully that'll start spawning some of those buses. To help some replace some of the older buses we have. I think it'd be kind of neat. I think the oil fields, I think we had everything over here. But I did want to place down the household plastics factory once we got the money for it. So we'll just have to wait just a moment or two on those. And then, I don't know, I'm trying to think, I do need to get about 2,000 more people into the city here. I'm just trying to think where I could put some more housing at, just for now. I'll probably move this a little later, but I do want to put some more housing down, maybe over here. Let's see if we can maybe squeeze in just a couple of high-density residential buildings over here. Something like this. And across like this. You know what? Funny enough, let me get this drawn over here. So, you're asking about cable cars. I do have one. Let's see over here. So I do have one going across here. So this is just a real basic one. It's nothing too crazy. It goes from essentially downtown Fryersburg, kind of uptown Fryersburg, to downtown Holly Branch. I've never been a huge fan of cable cars. I mean, I've been on a couple of them. I think they're interesting. I think we can get a couple more along here. Maybe connect things like Evergreen Grounds over to the forestry industry, or maybe this kind of downtown of Fryersburg over to other parts of Holly Branch. But I do have one. I've been trying to use things that I usually don't use into this city. I've been having a lot of fun with that. So let's go ahead and let's get this zone here so we can get up to that 40,000 people that we need to unlock that next area. Then I'll show you the idea I've had for the new suburb. So let's go ahead and we'll get this place down in here. Something like that. Hopefully that'll grow up pretty quick. I mean, we need, what, 1,800 people? So it shouldn't take too long to get that. Yeah, the cable car, I think I have nothing, I don't mind cable cars. It just, to me, like I have, up here I do have a part of the metro system here. If you look here, let me pull up the metro system. So you actually see the metro system that goes under the road here, or under the river here, crosses over, stop here, and then actually there's a couple different stops above ground now. And I don't have really anything linking. I do have this linking out here and a bunch of bus lines crisscrossing the city. But other than that, that's kind of how I usually do stuff. I think that's kind of the most efficient way. We don't have many buses out here, I just realized. And we might need to fix that. But also while I'm here, I forgot we also have post offices. So post offices, I believe, came into being during the Industries update. So let's see here. Right here. So this is something we need to, kind of take a look at. Large trucks collect mail from large postal intakes into postal sorting facilities. So what I'll do is I need to place down a couple of these post offices just to help facilitate some mail delivery. It's not the worst idea in the world to get this up and going, especially in this industrial area. And then we'll put one more over here in Holly Branch, probably on the main street here somewhere, something like that. And then we'll put a nice sorting warehouse, just right here next to the highway, so that essentially all that will be collected and put there, and then they can take it out from there to the highways, and then out to the city. We'll need to put quite a few down here though, because we're just trying to retrofit this in here now. So let's see how that goes. So like that area is pretty well covered. Let's get one maybe here. That looks pretty covered now. We'll get one kind of downtown here. That looks pretty well. We'll put one in Hollywood. Okay, so the farm just upgraded. We'll leave that for now. Let's see here. That one's probably good for Governor's Plaza. And we'll put one in right there. I know we're losing a couple buildings, but I'd rather get this up and going here so we can at least get some mail traffic through here. Where do I want to put this one? Maybe there. That should work. And then we'll need to start putting some here in the industrial park. And the office buildings over here. We'll put one there. Let's put a couple here on the west side. I don't want to put any on the beach there, but this looks like a great place for one. If we want to put a bunch of housing over here, we can put one there as well. Don't quite have enough for another sorting facility right this second, so we will need to get a couple of those. But yeah, it seems like our housing is going up pretty quick here. Looks very nice. Do something like that just to make sure that we can at least get some housing building over here while we're not thinking about it. Let's go ahead and upgrade our farms as well, if we can. Let's see here. Do we really need anything else? I mean, we have everything going. It's going to take a little while longer for it to really kind of grow with this many. I know we got a lot of traffic here. You know what? I wonder if I move these silos down to here. It's not going to cost me that much, but here's my thinking. If people are trying to get to these farms here, they can actually go, they don't have to go by these silos. And if you're trying to get to these farms, you can actually, either come in this way, turn here, or you can come around. With silos, they have to come all the way out here. Hopefully that'll leave this street free for all the farm traffic that we're looking for. That's the hope, at least. I don't know if that helped any or not, but we'll leave it going out for now. We're making a pretty good profit, about 26 grand every so often here. Let's see here. Let's do something like this, kind of build along this way. I think that'll help. It kind of helps sedate the residential or the commercial demand for this area. Wonder if that's a thing. Oh, we need to get some water out to these guys. Is that a thing we can do? It says that we can use like greener stuff. I don't know if that's true or not, but we can. But I think what we need to do is actually upgrade this road here to at least a 6-lane. We can have that all the way out there. it is a pretty relaxing game. And when I was, I actually studied engineering, so civil engineering, quite a bit in college. Um, Thank you for the follow there, Mr. Musics. I do appreciate it. Yeah, I actually studied civil engineering in college, so I did actually do design like this for a while. It was fun. I really enjoyed this stuff, but unfortunately, I had an accident about my third year in college, and I had to switch majors. Um, I'm starting to get over it now. It's been actually about 3 years now since the accident happened. So, yeah. So it's unfortunate. Yeah, it's like the reason I did the stream was just as a distraction almost, because I'm used to working. I used to work in an amusement park, and after that, I worked at a loan company. I was used to working 55, 60 hours a week, and then now I go to a point where it's like I'm not working at all. It's like I was going almost crazy because of this. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start it because I've always wanted to try this. I'm like, I've got plenty of time now. I can do whatever. I can stream whenever, and so that's why I kind of did it. It's like I'm not really here to make money or anything. It'd be neat to do so. I've seen there's a lot of people who've been doing this for a while. It'd be kind of fun to make money off this one day, but that's not really why I'm here to do this. I'm here to have fun. I'm here to play games. I'm here to talk to people, just to have for myself and for others, so that they can, they can have a little bit of time to relax during the day. And I know, because I live in the U.S., it's a bit of an odd time for me to stream. It's right after lunch, and kind of in between lunch and dinner here. So it's a bit of an odd time. Because a lot of the streamers that I know either stream, after dinner or things like that. It's real late, 7, 8 o'clock, and it's not just right at 2 o'clock here. So maybe that's just me. So we've been getting a lot of level ups just through industries and through our zoo. So we do have our zoo here, which I'm actually kind of proud of how I laid the zoo out. Rather fun. So let's get the last 2 enclosures in here so that we can at least call this one done as well. So we got the rhino enclosure. We can't build that on water, but I think we can maybe slot it in right there. That looks good here. And let's see, the last one here, I think, is the lions. Yes. Let's put them. I know they have a really nice. Put them on top of the hill here, and then we'll make a nice path up to it. Something like this. Nope, that's not going to work, but we can do maybe something like this. Can we drag it out like that? And maybe it's not quite realistic, but I think it'll work. I am on the East Coast, U.S. If you look here, I got my Bearcats. So Cincinnati, Ohio. That's where I'm from. So, I live on the East Coast, Midwest-ish. So, but yeah, I usually stream at this time, 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when I stream. It's works out for me. I can do stuff beforehand if I need to run errands or whatever, and I can do stuff after. I can pretty much go fix dinner, eat, and then I can go do other errands if need be. So yeah, that's what I do. Let's see here. We're still working towards that 40,000 people. The area is starting to fill up pretty well. Not perfect, but it does seem to be working. Never been a big fan of building on huge hills like this. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know it's more realistic to do it this way, but maybe that's just me. Now, let's tackle something else. Where do we want to put a university out? It's kind of where we want to put. Holly Branch is not a bad area to put a college at. I think I might put the liberal college out here. When we build this new suburb out here, we'll put the trade school out here, because it's actually, once you upgrade, it's more like a science institute, which I think would be great. And then I'll put I'll figure out another place just for the generic university. Maybe up here by the airport. I think that's what I did the first time when I built it on my other save of this game. And then it's still backing up quite a bit. I don't know. I'll have to figure something out for this. I haven't quite figured it out yet. So, our ore industry just got to level 3. That's very nice. So let's actually start working on our college out here. I know. let's see here. We'll have to build, I think I want to build something like this out from the highway. I know this is not like a typical highway. This is more like a state highway where it's a 4-lane divided one and there's stoplights, periodically through it. But what I can do though is actually click on the highway here at this junction here. We don't put any lights there. We'll just put stop signs. So traffic can flow both ways without being impeded. But if you're crossing at all, you'll have to stop. That's a good way to do that. I thought about turning on disasters in this game, but it's like, I would, in this one, I just kind of want to be a little more creative and just kind of play this one. So I really didn't, have a huge tsunami coming right in the middle of it. So maybe that was just me. I've still played with those. It's been fun to play with those. So we need to create a campus area. That would be a good idea. First, that's an industry area. Back that out. Also back the industry up just a little bit here so we can create a campus area there. And we'll put our campus area along this road, and then we'll start up a little bit, and then we'll go down just a little bit here. And with the highway there, we have pretty good access to the highways and things like that. So I think that'll work out pretty well. I think right there will work. So what do we got here? We got the dormitories, we have the study halls, we have the groundskeeping, that should be the drama club. So let's go ahead and we'll put the gardening there. We'll go ahead and start. We do have some pathing here, so we'll just kind of draw this back to here and across. We'll put when we get it, I'll put a nice fountain there. I think that'll work out beautifully. We'll do something like this. We'll keep it on this side of the road for now. I'll put the drama club right there next to the administration building. I'll put the dormitories. I want to put another path in here and put the dormitories on either side of here. And we'll put the study hall across the way here. Something like that. I think that'll be a nice little college to start out with. Let's get our water going in here. Something like that. And we'll need to do another line like so. House power. Alright, so we have plenty of power. Just gotta everything. When everything comes online, we'll be okay. But yeah, I like how it looks. It looks. I know it's kind of on this cliffside here. I'm not a huge fan of that. We can actually probably smooth this out just a little bit. Not quite what I wanted to do here. That's smooth. Nope, it's not. That's level terrain. So let's just smooth this. Turn up the intensity as well, so we can get a little bit smoother in here. So it costs us just a little bit of money. I don't mind spinning just a little bit so that we can make it look a little bit nicer. Something like this. I know there's gonna be a plateau no matter what, which is unfortunate. But I think if we can kind of reduce the cliff side of it a little bit, we can kind of make it look a little bit nicer, especially in here, where we can easily clean this up and make it look like a nice flat ground, or like a nice rolling hill, nothing too crazy. Do something like this. I think that'll work out just nicely. I think we can smooth this area out for now. I think we'll have to change it once we put the fountain in there. But for now, I think our first college looks really nice there. And then, of course, once we get the 40,000, I will put the other college down there as well. But speaking of which, we do need to look at some academic works here. We'll do it in cinematography. We'll give it $50,000 just to help with that. Policies, we will do visiting scholars, free lunch, and student health care, because that'll help with attractiveness. We're almost at the attractiveness we need. So if you've never actually played with universities, it's pretty simple. So you'll have to have the main administration building, and then once you do that, you can build. They'll give you 4 buildings to start out with in these roads. Now, all college buildings can be built either roadside or on these paths. So, and there's some that you only build on roads, but for the most part, you can actually build them on paths as well. So you can make a nice college area. The other thing is, though, the Lynch Institute of Social Sciences. I think I'll keep it like that. That seems pretty nice. You want? Let's actually change this up for. Let's do liberal arts. There we go. And so, pretty simple there. And what you have to do to upgrade your university is you need 3 things. So if you click on your academic building, you can actually see what they are. You need 2 academic works, which I'll explain here in a second. You'll need enough students, which you need 500 for the first rank, and then you need campus attractiveness. Campus attractiveness can be increased by a couple different ways. If you put all your buildings in, usually that'll be a pretty well thing. You know, you're pretty well off. Some of these do increase the attractiveness as well. Free lunches, I know, helps. It gets their happiness up. But they also, you know, these things like, you know, increases faculty bonuses, which is how, you know, things like that. And also you can put varsity sports in here, which is pretty nice. So the varsity sports, you actually can click here. I don't know if I'll put any in this one. I might do something like aquatic center or something like that. But you know, to me, a liberal arts college really doesn't do much in the way of sports. Maybe that's just me. I've never actually been to one, of course. I've been to 2 colleges. Both were, one was a community college, but they still had a couple of sports teams. Then I went to the University of Cincinnati as well, which, you know, that's a Division I college, university actually. So I've been to kind of both, and I've never seen a liberal arts college do much in the way of sports. But you think about it, you have, you know, the trade schools, which are kind of the tech schools. You have things like Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech, things like that, and then universities. You know, pretty much any major college sports team is the university of something. Cincinnati, Ohio State University, Alabama University, Duke University, things like that. So the other 2 schools I'm more associated with sports than. And maybe that's just my thinking, but who knows. I also want to change up this intersection here. I'm going to just put stop signs there, there, and there. So these guys can still roll free. That still kind of bugs me that they're parking there, but yeah, I guess to each their own. But this should allow this place to flow a lot freer. Here I do want to put a stop sign because this is a major road. We're getting close to that 40,000 though, so that is really nice. Got some issues down here. What do we got? We don't have enough educated workers. How's our education doing, by the way? Elementary school, we're doing okay. High school, we're doing okay. University, we've already got plenty, but we already have half of our students highly educated. Something I do want to do though, since I didn't have a university like the pack, I just placed down a basic one somewhere. Where I put that at, I'm not 100% sure at. So I'll show me. Aha, down here. I was going to use this area as a university, but as I played, there is no way I could put a university. It's so small down here. But I wanted to leave this one. All the students are going to leave here. Because essentially I have 2,000 people? Okay, so I have 2,654 people available to go to college. But right now I only have a capacity of 1,300, so all 1,300 is going to go here. And that'll increase my students quite a bit. But since I don't really have another alternative for that, I don't have enough people for the college, I'll expand this one a little bit. I really don't want this to be our main college, though. Because in thinking our university will be our biggest college. And then probably the tech school, and then the liberal arts college. So I'll do something like this, and like that. And that should help increase the capacity of it. See how much that will. That gets us up to. Actually, over here. So we're at just over 2,000 people. So 700 people won't be able to go to college here, which is unfortunate right now. But we're getting close to the point where we will be able to build that new prototype city that I want to do. I'm really excited about that. I really want to, because I think once I get the tech school up, that tech school is going to be the next big university here. But we'll see how that goes. I don't think I don't have anything to build quite yet. So yeah, we'll have just to wait on that one just for a bit. But I am okay with that. Got a little bit of traffic going on here. What have we got? And it just looks like just a little bit of backup. I don't think that's really too much to worry about. Let's see here. Is there any way we can maybe get the population to grow a little bit faster? We can also place more houses down. We have a huge demand for housing right now. Something like this, maybe. Just gonna connect all this up. So, you know, they don't have one way to leave. They have a couple different ways they can go out. I think that's kind of a good idea to do. Oop. Something like that. Yeah, I think I'll leave that one open just for now. I'll draw this road down to there. And we'll just start. We won't zone all this right this second, just because I do want to have some for when we get our new city or our new suburb built. We do want to have some demand for that, so that, you know, it's just not a bare city out there. But what we can do is actually start kind of, you know, because we're going to get this 40,000 here shortly. I do want to start planning on what I want to do with it, because essentially what it is it's going to be a circle. At the center of that circle is going to be my transit hub. So it's going to be a circle. So inside that first circle is going to be a monorail station and tram stations. If you look at the original plans for Epcot, it was going to be monorail stations to go long distances, kind of like a high-speed train. And the shorter distance, you were actually going to be used by people movers. If you don't know what a people mover is, look it up. Essentially, it's like a non-motorized form of travel. They use magnets to travel on tracks. Disneyland used to have one. They don't have one anymore, but a lot of people have been wanting one. But the Magic Kingdom still has a people mover. They're pretty neat. I've rode it many times. So that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to replace those with trams, because they're very similar in size. And if you look at, there actually is another one that Disney helped design in, I think, the Dallas International Airport, Dallas-Fort Worth. They actually have a people mover there that looks like an enclosed tram. And that's kind of where I got the idea from. So we're using trams instead of people movers. And so the monorail will bring people to and from this suburb that we're planning. And the trams will make them kind of go out through the ring. So it's going to be built in a ring pattern, or as best as I can do it. It's not going to be perfect. I'm going to just put that out right there, right now. But as this city grows, the center section nearest to the monorail station is going to be really high density commercial, and then high residential areas, and then offices. That's kind of the technical part, but I do want to make the IT cluster a part of this. And as we move out, the next ring around that is going to be a park area. I'm actually going to make a green belt around the city, and then outside of there is going to be self-sufficient green homes. That's kind of the idea. We're going to make this futuristic city. All the buildings are trying to be self-sufficient. We're going to try to, at least. I don't know how this is going to work out, so we're going to do this live on stream, and if it fails, oh well. I guess kind of look, you know, I fail on the internet. Oh well. But if it works, then it'll look like a great city. I also want to try to, I don't know how this is going to work. I want to ban all combustion engine vehicles in this city, and I also want to make people buy electric cars. I've never done that for an entire section of a city like this, especially the one that I'm kind of planning is this size. But yeah, I have played around with self-sufficient buildings, and yes, they are very cool. Even just aesthetically, they're amazing to look at. So that's kind of what I'm looking to do. Don't know how well I'm going to do it yet, but you know, worst comes to worst, we have to kind of redo some policies, but I don't think we'll have too big of an issue with it. So let's go ahead and start zoning all this. So it looks like we will need it eventually. I still like Fryersburg. Fryersburg is going to be still our main city. It's going to be the downtown area, but I do want to kind of build this Epcot-esque area, and I think it's going to be kind of fun. Now, if you're kind of new here, I'm a big Disney fan, so I love Disney. I've been to Disney World 22 or 23 times. So I love amusement parks. I used to work at one. I worked for Cedar Fair for 7 years as a manager, so stuff like this, these concept ideas, I love them. Even though now Epcot's an amusement park, which is still pretty neat. I still like the idea of the original Epcot. So that's what I'm trying to go for. I might even name the city Epcot, just kind of as an homage to it. So we just gotta wait. We need less than 450 people now. So hopefully that'll be, we'll get that relatively quickly here. I know I've been talking about this a lot, just so that you guys have an idea of how I want to do things. Speaking of which, I do need to get a couple more cemeteries in here. I know it seems a little odd. I've got the crematoriums, which are great. I do have a couple of them in the city. But I want to be able to build the Grand Central Terminal. I haven't never built that, and I'd love to do that. So we'll see how that goes. We don't need very many more people in here. We need to get some more commercial going, though. Some high density along here and maybe along there might be kind of nice. Alrighty, is there anything else? We got some fire down here. It's nothing too bad. You know what? We probably have enough money to actually build our processing plants that we wanted to. So toy factory we can build. I really don't want to do that quite yet. Household products, though, or household plastics. I think it'd be a great one to have. Kind of over here, maybe. Let's try to get it to as far left as we can here. There we go. That'll look kind of nice. I think that'll link up everything here. What other factory could we build here? Let's see. We have the electronics factory, which we're not really ready for yet. But I think the rest of it is just stuff in the actual. I think we upgraded the farms while we were talking about that. I don't think we got anything new, essentially. Milking parlor does a lot like the pastures do, but I think they just, I don't know if they produce more or less. Let's see here. This produces 2,400. This is produced actually 4,000. So, you know what? Let's go ahead and replace a couple of our farms or our cattle fields with those milking parlors. So we'll get rid of this last one here. If I'm not mistaken, the milking parlors are not that big, or as big, or maybe they are. I was just, oh shoot. Put them on this side of the road then. So they're a little bit bigger, but they do produce more, so I'm okay with that. We'll put 4 down, and we'll get rid of all of our pastures here. Stuff like this. But since we got rid of those pastures here, I want to try to build some medium fruit fields here. So let's do something like this. Just kind of build it across. Yeah. Can I put a small one in there, maybe? Oh, I can. All right. So there we go. And we'll make these all. Cornfields because I think they'll look kind of nice. We've got these huge farms of corn we don't have to worry about. Hey, there we go. Finally hit 40,000. So we got the nuclear power plant, the floating cafe, the cargo hub, and the ocean thermal energy conversion plant. So that's kind of nice. Alrighty, so let's go ahead. Let's see if we can buy that square down here. We'll start building our prototype city down here. So we got $15,000 for that one, and that should give us plenty of room to do this, although there's a lot of hills here that I really didn't notice. Oh well, I think we'll still be okay. Let's see here. Maybe, I'm trying to think where I want to put this circle, the main circle at. I'm thinking maybe something like this. Let's see how many units. That was 5. So if we do something like this, we got 2 units and then up 2 units. That'll be our halfway point. Something like this. And that's kind of what I'm thinking here. I know it's a little wavy, but I think that'll be what we're looking for. I'm going to upgrade this, or kind of downgrade this to a 2-lane road, because I really don't want people driving through here. So what I'm going to do is, why can I, oh, I need to upgrade to the 1-lane, or one-way roads here. So what I'm going to do is just kind of do something like this, so that typically you cannot turn onto these roads. It's kind of the point. Then on this road, junctions, I don't want any traffic lights on that road at all. the only way you're going to be able to get onto this street here is if you're either walking or you take, your vehicle spawns there. So I'll put stoplights at the either end here. So let's go ahead and put our monorail up, which I believe is this one. It is. Now I could put this over a road, but I'd rather just kind of keep it off to the side here. And we'll build across like this. Are you serious? It won't let me build monorail tracks there. So I gotta, I guess, increase the height just a little bit here. Beach up and across. Alright. Now we gotta figure out where we want to put the station at for the other end. So I'm thinking maybe the west end might not be the worst idea in the world, just because it seems kind of an area that would have since it is a kind of a tourist area. I think that'd be kind of neat to put them in. Let's go ahead and redo this one here. Page up, and let's go across. That'll work. And let's go ahead and just draw straight across from here. And we'll have it turn north here in a second. Or actually be space already occupied. Alright, I don't know. Every once in a while with the monorails it does the space already occupied thing, and I don't know why it does that. So we'll do something like this. Go out 2 units and up 2 units. Go out 2 units and over like that. Hopefully those will connect out pretty well. And that'll be just fine there. It's not perfect, but it works for what we're doing. Water. We do need to get some water over here. Just draw some water out this way and over to there. Power's going to be a little bit different issue because I'm not sure how we're going to power all this. We could just throw a nuclear power plant down and not have to worry about stuff like this. But some of this stuff is actually pretty neat, like the solar updraft tower. I'm not quite sure how that works. It's still a neat idea, so we might do something like that. Just place one down, maybe across. It's slip too steep, so that's what I'm a little afraid of. Some of these are going to be a little steep, but I think this will work. So let's get our next band of roads going out here. So let's do 2 out again on all sides. 2 and 2 there. I'm afraid that the monorail might get in the way here. So we'll do 2 out there and 2 out here. This should connect up a little bit. Well, I guess it's not really a circle, but I guess the bands work. I could go out 5 and do this. And you know what? I think that adds a little bit more of a challenge, and I kind of like the idea. So let's do that. Let's see here. Let's do 5 out and over. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. I miscount somewhere. That should be 5 there. And over. 5 and over. And I'll have to redo the monorail track just a little bit here. But that's okay. Do 5 and over. So there's our second band going on here. Now this also has a different correlation to the Magic Kingdom as well. I just thought about this when I was drawing the circles out. If you actually look at a map of the Magic Kingdom, it's actually built in rings very similar to this. So like let's say this road here is Main Street USA. The castle would be the center point here, and then there's a hub that goes out from all this. So and then there's an outer belt that kind of travels around the park, but all of it connects back into the center somehow, either by paths or through another section. But it always connects back to the main center. So it's an easy place. So that's why a lot of people think if you're at the Magic Kingdom and for some reason you get lost, meet at the castle, because you can see it from pretty much everywhere in the park, and you can get there pretty easily as well. So that is pretty neat. I just thought about that when I was building this. So let's work on our power really quick, because I think I need to put a highway out here somehow too, and I don't know quite how I'm going to do it yet. Or do we want to build roads, more roads out? Because right now this is pretty much our commercial section is kind of this inner belt. Then we want to have a high density residential. So the next belt will be our office buildings. So we do something like this. I probably have to redo this monorail line many times, but something like that. And I think, I don't know if I'm going to have the trams go right down the middle or I want to have them go overhead. In the original designs, they were overhead, so they worked out a little bit easier that way. I believe it's that. Yeah. Something like this and over. And like this and over. It's not going to be perfect circles, but I think it'll be good enough to where we can kind of, we can see how all this is going to go. So essentially this is the, ooh, I can still snap it in there, awesome. So right now, commercial, residential, and then offices. So that kind of takes care of the three basic demands. And then this is the next part here. I'm actually going to make a entire park out here. So this next, like, 2-lane, or these 2 avenue, or, you know what, let's make it 3. I know that's going to be a little odd, because we're getting towards the edge of the box here. But I do want to create, I think that one made that one a little too long. Let's redo that one real quick. Because, let's see, that's 3, and then we do 3 more here. So this will be like an entire bandwave park, or band of park here, and I think that'll be really neat. I think it's right there and over. Let's see here. There and over. There and over. Right there and over there. Perfect. So there is our city. I see that tsunami has hit. Is your city almost gone, or is it, did you have enough warning that you could kind of evacuate everybody? Let's go ahead. We'll draw the park in here so that I don't forget to, because I would be the one to plan all this out and then forget that I want to put the park in this area. So essentially, this is not just going to be park. So it's going to be stuff like baseball stadiums and soccer field, stuff like that. So it's almost like a green band in between the big, kind of the big, heavy industrial or dense industrial, or not industrial, but kind of this urban core here, and then kind of the residential suburban housing outside of here. So let's do something like this, and let's keep on going around here. Mess that up a little bit. Let's fix that. Kind of follow the road here. And that's taken care of, so let's do something like this. Alright, so this is what I call Forceport. I'm actually going to call it the Green Belt. Green Belt. Excuse me. Stretch the arm out a little bit. So there's that taken care of. So we got that taken care of. Let's see here. Now let's go ahead and zone the city section, because this is going to have special policies in it, so I don't want to have in the rest of the city. Things like the combustion engine ban, stuff like that. So something like this. Then I'll fill in the rest of the area here with kind of residential housing, kind of individual homes, things like that. So Crescent Hills is now going to become Epcot. Let's see here. Default, I don't have any. All right, so let's go to policies here. Let's take a look at this. I do have some that are, you know, for this. Let's see here. We'll do free Wi-Fi as well on automated sorting, because that's always a nice one. But here in city planning, I want to do... Do I have a high-rise ban in the entire city? That would be no good. But let's see here. I want to go for electric cars, filter industrial waste, and combustion engine ban. That's kind of the big three I wanted to go for. That kind of concerns me that I have... Okay, I don't have a high-rise ban on anything like that. But I do want to also, before I forget, I do want to make this IT cluster, and I'm going to make this self-sufficient homes. I think that'll work out very well. Now we can start zoning some. We better not zone yet, because we need to build a highway connection first. So let's do that. We probably will have to redo this section of monorail tracks, but that's okay. Let's do a nice page up here. Hopefully that can cross the highway. It sure can. And we'll do something like that. I won't connect it directly to the main city yet. I'll give it a little bit. If we see there's a lot of demand for the highway here, I will. I can always make another connection there. And let's go ahead and build the off ramp for this side first. That looks pretty good. And like that. Looks pretty good. It's not going to be perfect, I understand that, but do something like this. And then, let's see here. Do something like this. And we need to build one more on-ramp to this section here. I want to move this down. I'll move it down to the ground first, and then see if I can bring it in anywhere. Not really. All right. Well, this is kind of unfortunate. I can bring it into there, which, I prefer not to. So let's redo the on ramp here. Let's see here, and take it off for right this second here. Bring it. Oop. I'm going to bring it down to a half of one there. Maybe I can bring it a little bit more smoother somewhere. Aha, there we go. Not perfect, but it will do for now. We get rid of this little section there. Now we need to worry about power again, which is what I was kind of concerned about. So, let's see, how do we want to bring power in? Speaking of power, we probably need to put the monorail back up before I forget to. Something like that, and then we just draw a straight line across here, and that'll look up very nicely. So I think, let's see, let's get power. I think we put this one of these solar things in. I think that'll work, and then for now we'll just use power lines. Just connect the center. Because I don't, I really eventually want to just have the whole city, just connected out there, so we just don't have to worry about power lines. But for right now, this will be okay. So let's start zoning this commercial area here. Once again, I don't really want to, zone that middle section. Nice green center there. And honestly, I have no idea how this is going to work. It could just be a total flop. But I do want to try it out because I think it'd be an interesting idea. Something like this around the outside here. Now I know building on a slope is going to kind of limit how big of a residential and commercial buildings are going to be, but that'll be, we'll figure it out. And I think on these little bands here, I think I will just have that going out like that. Let's go ahead and speed up the game a little bit, and let's go ahead and put the residential just outside there. So if you ever look it up online, Google it. If you look up Walt Disney's original Epcot idea, or what he called Progress City, same thing, because Progress City became Epcot. That's kind of Progress City. I think was the name he gave to it before he gave it the name Epcot. So it's an interesting little concept, and that's kind of what we're going for here. I just think that let's get all these put in here. There was one kind of big issue with it is Walt Disney's idea for building an Epcot was that like these huge industries, back in the day it was like GE, like General Electric for appliances, and there's different like aircraft manufacturing companies and household products, things like that. He wanted to build a city where they could prototype all their new stuff, and companies liked that idea. But the problem is that, like housing there, you actually could never own a home in Epcot. You would pretty much rent your home from there, and every 2 years you would pretty much have to upgrade your entire house. That was kind of the idea of it, and companies really didn't like that idea because, upgrading a home, I mean, you got to think about, every piece of furniture, any appliances, electronics, and things like that, all have to be re-upgraded every so often. And they saw this, it's going to be a huge expense just for prototyping things that who knows if people want to buy or not. The other issue is Walt Disney passed away before he really got any progress done on Epcot. He had the huge designs, and you can still see he has models of it. You can still see those actually, funny enough, on the People Mover at the Magic Kingdom. You can actually still see his original Progress City. And also, kind of a funny thing is, if you look out, if you're riding the Carousel of Progress in the 1990 section when they're celebrating Christmas, if you look out the window, that the city that you're looking out onto is Progress City. So it's pretty interesting how all that works out. Just catch that to there. So to me, it would have been an interesting idea to see. Now, just for me, I love things like the monorail. I love the People Mover idea. I love public transit idea, and around where I live, there's hardly any. But it's just things like that. It's like it makes you wonder, what if something like that existed? Would it even work? Who knows? A lot of people think that if Walt Disney was still around to build Epcot, he would have made it work somehow. Because I guess he was one of those people that he would give you this idea, and he would just keep kind of nagging you with it and telling you that if you had a concern about it, he can always find a way to actually make it work out somehow. And it was interesting to that point how all that worked. Hopefully this will build something we'll build like right here. What we could do actually to kind of help that is to build a fire station and a police station here. So that should link up all those. But Mr. Music's good. Seems like hopefully your city will recover from all that. Yeah, so anyway, well, Miss Music, thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Thanks for the chat as well. I hope to see you again sometime. Stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Fridays. If you can stop by again, please do. If not, my YouTube channel is always there, so you can always watch them a little bit later. And I do appreciate even a view on there. So, have a good day. I do appreciate you stopping by, though. Alrighty, so let's get back. Let's actually start working on our trams, because that will be our next kind of big thing that we need to work on. Have a good one, Mr. Meeseeks. Let's see here. Trams. Where are the trams at? Trams. There we go. Let's see. I think we want to put actually the trams out this way. Seems a little bit of a distance out there. But I think if what we do, if we build, you know what? What if we build a road just dedicated to trams? I know it seems a bit silly, but 2-lane road with tram tracks. Something like this. Then we move this one around like so. Now this actually has a connection to the street here. It's going to give me this little error here, which I am not really a big fan of. Can I upgrade that? Okay, cool. I can just upgrade that to trams only, and then I can actually continue to build trams out this way. Now, let's try and build. Just want tram tracks, so I just want this. So let's just try to build a nice curved section of track. Oh, slope too steep. That's what I was afraid of something like this, is that we're getting to the point where we can go out like this and like this. Now I want to start bringing them up a little bit, so that's about halfway. So we'll do another kind of half turn there. That's a full step. I don't want to go full step yet. Something I've learned while building a lot of this is if you're kind of want to make a city look a little bit better, go down here and actually turn your snapping down to about half size. Your slopes look a little bit better this way. I think so, at least. And then I want to bring it out this way here. Bring it up like that. And so you get this little bit more of a gentler slope. I think it looks a little bit nicer personally. And I think it'll make your hills look a little bit better, especially with like public transit and things like that. So let's go ahead and build this all the way up here. We got to build it straight through downtown Epcot. Ooh, what do we got here? Pause this right this second here. Ooh, space. I want to back it up a little bit then. Ooh, that could be an issue. It's not going up fast enough to kind of meet the demand of this slope here. So let's go ahead and let's bring it up to here and then page up and across. And let's keep on going straight across to here. I'm trying to think where I want to go from here. I do want to build it across there. If you see here, I'm not a huge fan of how that went. So let's demolish those two. Sometimes you can actually get a little bit better slope if you kind of back it up just a little bit. It makes it a little bit more smoother. I think, let me just draw this out here to see. But I think you actually can put tram stations on top of bridges. You cannot. Ooh, that makes it a little more difficult. Right. Alright, so what I'll have to do is I will have to back this up just a little bit here. I'll put the tram station, the main hub station, I guess, on this side. I think this is where we're going to put it at. We'll do something like this. We'll bring it down to the ground level here. Kind of draw a straight line like so. And then before I forget, I'm going to place some pathing down here. What this pathing will do, we'll also do it in a nice, you know, we'll do it in red. This is for the amusement park. But, you know, a nice red path. Come on. If you see here, it'll connect. Ooh. Technically, it did connect those two up. Something like this. Ooh, we actually kind of want to bring it a little bit closer to the train station here. Or what's going to be the train station. Let's turn the snapping off. That might help a little bit here. Something like that. Maybe. Or maybe if we upgrade. Let's upgrade to the normal path here, because it looks like that will actually connect properly. And then bring it down here. across like this and down, but we also want to connect it to the monorail station eventually. So we will need to worry about that. Let's see here. Now this is not going to be the only track of tram here. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and build at least a second line. Because if not, this will get really super crowded here shortly. And we can actually put if we can put a third line in here. There we go. I think that'll work a lot better. Now let's go ahead and connect. Let's figure out a way to connect this that tram slope up to this station over here. So do something like this. We'll do a nice curve out of the station here. Hopefully that those things can actually meet up with. Let's see. Can we something like that? We might have to go up and over the monorail line, maybe, or can we draw it straight out from here? We can. I think another way we can maybe place it. We can place it there, but it's still going to be space occupied there. What we can do, though, I guess we can. So it looks like we'll have to go up and over the monorail no matter what, which is okay. I'm not like I'm not a huge fan of it, but if that's what we have to do, that's what we're going to have to do. So we'll do something like. I'm trying to think how we want to do this. Something like this, maybe. All this snapping is not the greatest for this. Something like that. Hopefully maybe bring it up over then. We can. So, how far can we... Now we'll have to get rid of the power lines here, so let's make sure that everything's still connected. It is. So that's good. I'm going to figure out a way to connect all these tram lines up to this top part here. Like it might just let me do a direct connection to that one. It's going to be a little steep, but I think actually it's not too bad. It's actually more like just a straight turn there. Actually looks pretty neat. So let's go ahead and we're actually going to demolish this section here. And I'd like to do a turn first. Let's get the guide back on here. Something like that. It's not terrible. Could be better, but it's still not terrible. Looks pretty good to me. Now we will need somewhere to turn all these trams around. Just thought about that. We can build, you know what? What if we built a roundabout? I know that seems a little crazy, but let's do something like this. So let's bring this set of track out this way. And we'll bring one out here and turn it here and no, I don't think I have enough room. Turn it. Go back this way. Straight up. Back that up a little bit. I know we'll have to rebuild this part of the station here, but that's okay. I think, though, if we take this turn... Come on. Come on. Let me do this one. Something like this. We can kind of make a... Let's actually just build a straight path up to there, and then can we curve it enough? Maybe. Working a really tight area here, and while I think this will look pretty cool, I don't know if this will work, but that should allow all my trains to turn around. Also, what I can do, I think I lost a lot of zoning here. I'm going to get rid of the zoning here. Which I think will work. I need to put a place to put some schools and stuff like that too. I just thought about that. Education. Let's go ahead and just place down. We'll place one of the bigger, the community schools, and the liberal arts thing. I don't remember what it's called on this one. Place it. We'll place it on here, on the residential belt. And I think, so we have all these trams here. I think that'll work. I think this will work. But let's see here. Can we place a path between here? Oh, come on. Let me... Yeah, there we go. That looks amazing. That's better than I thought it would. Alright, let's see if we can do it again. Maybe not. I don't think it's going to let me do it on this last one. Which would be a bit of a shame, because I think that would look really nice. We do it at all down here is kind of the other question. Something like that. We can do something like that, and then I'll at least allow them to cross over. I think that's gonna be a little too short here. But what we can do is connect this across to here now, and now people getting off the monorail can actually just jump onto one of the trams. I think that looks really nice. And so now what we can do is I can use this tram line, kind of sneak it back through here. Actually, I want to bring up this one up a little bit. Can we not? It's still seeing space to occupy because of this turn here. I'm wondering if I actually delete this turn and then bring this. Oh, let's get snapping back on so I kind of have an idea of where this will go. I'll have to redo my path there, unfortunately, but I can still do that. Do something like that. We can actually use this line as kind of our this way section here. I think that'll work. I'll have to figure out a way. Well, if our trains came, I'm trying to think of this as kind of a. If our trains came in this way, we could have them. Well, I'm still trying to figure this out. I'm really just kind of winging it right this second here. To get this to work. I kind of wish, there was a mod of some sort that we can make these look like people movers, and there probably is somewhere. I know, like you can even get the Mark IV monorails from Disney World in here. I think that's kind of neat, but something like that. We'll have to go up a little bit more just to get across this road, and we can go back down here. I'll leave it there because I don't quite know where I want to go with that one yet. So we got a north-south route. Now we need to work on east-west. East-west can be a little bit more difficult, just because I don't quite know sure how to do that yet. Well, I guess what we could do is just kind of run a line through here, and that could be our east route. Our west route, we can just kind of branch off here, sneak behind here, and then come out that way. Because essentially, what the trams are for is just to get people to and from the main section here. They're not really for this area. We're gonna have some buses, some electric, biodiesel buses, things like that go around here. That's kind of the idea, at least, because I was hoping I could put stations on top of here, but it looks like we have to, we create a line, we can't put it on top of here, so that's what's kind of unfortunate, but we'll figure it out. Let's see here. So something like this. We'll start our eastbound track first. Something like this. And we're deleting house, stuff like that. I really don't want to do that, but it's kind of what we're at right now. Something like this. Might have to raise that just a little bit. That's okay, though. And this one's probably not going to be doing much right this second because of... they were out of room here But the rest of them I think will be doing pretty well. We can see how they look and how they work. So we can upgrade these to roads. Hang on here. If we upgrade those to roads, can we then put a stop on them? We cannot. Okay. It was a thought. Thought it might be interesting. Guess it won't work. But that's okay. So what we'll do is we'll branch another line off here. And have this one kind of turn and head this way. Just kind of follow the back of these buildings here. Something like this. And cross. And we'll keep on going. Go ahead down this way. You know what? Let's back these up just a little bit, and I'll show you why. So I want to try to keep that this section back here as much zoning as we can. So I kind of want to something like this maybe. Turn off snapping so we can get a little bit better angle on it. And then we can actually just go ahead and turn snapping back on so we can actually get a nice curve back up to there. I think that'll work. Then we'll just continue this route out this way here. I might put some stops in here. So what I'll do is I'll just drop this down because this is commercial, then like the green belt, and then we're, I guess it'd be out to here, and then we can drop it down to where we need it to. And then for now, right now, we'll just kind of have a dead end there. I mean, dead end. We have to put in some sort of loop. So we'll do something like this, and back into the line there. So now we can put a station in here, put our commercial or not commercial residential zoning out this way. Same way out here. I guess we can just finish it real quick. I know we're not making a whole lot of progress on anything else, but something like this. And down two more. More than that. Alright. Ooh, that's a bit of a steep slope there. Let's back it up just a little bit here. And let's try this again. I think exactly this is what's causing our issues right this second here. I don't think I connected that line that time. That looks a lot better. And then we can actually probably just do this. Well, kind of bring it down to there. But yeah, I don't like how that looks. So essentially what I'm going to try to do is level it out. Shoot. And then bring it up. Well, I might just level this whole area like this, and so we can have a nice residential area starting right here. Might do something like that. And then, so we got all of our routes kind of connected here. Let's go ahead and put in our loop so we can go back to the so we can actually head back to the main central area there. Looks rather nice. So what do we got going on again? So we got all this zoned, I think, properly. So now I think we're going to start doing the offices as well. And we'll start zoning those out on the next belt out more. And we will also use the connecting side streets, things like that, as offices as well. Because that'll actually extend into the green belt a little bit. But I think there's more than enough green space there for what we're going to be using it for. So I think we'll be okay there. Something like that. And these actually should be high density commercial, or high density residential, I'm sorry. Not that one though. This one though. And this is the one that should be the offices. So hopefully maybe some of this will start growing up. It'll look kind of nice. Because that's kind of the idea, is that I really don't want any dirty industry over here. I just kind of want to do offices and things like that. So But these actually should be the IT cluster offices, so they'll look really nice and kind of high-techish. I kind of want to see. Looks really, because it looks really nice. Oh, upgraded on the farm there. It looks very nice. Something like this. And like so. I haven't done the outside of this one yet, so we'll do that one real quick. So this city has a lot of growing to do, which is fine. We've planned it out now, so at least we've got a good plan in place. Might have left a little bit of room between each one. It'd been a little bit better if I had flat ground to work with. Hang on here. I just realized that this is actually the green belt and not this. Did I mess up somewhere? Fair enough. Okay, no, just they haven't zoned the offices have really started growing up yet, so that makes sense. Get rid of these power lines though. There we go. Not a lot of traffic walking around through here, so it's interesting. I mean, there's people that here that have. I mean, there's be some commercial vehicles, but let's also while I'm thinking about, let's also get our buses going. So that will be something we do need, even though I technically did ban all combustion engines. I still think we need some buses. One thing I would love to have in this game is just bus-only roads. Because what I could do then is just have this avenue here just for buses, so that we could we won't have to worry about. We can actually have people dropped off here, things like that. Let's see here. Need to get the path back to the monorail station here, like so. Also build one down to. Oop, that didn't really work. That's what I was going to go for. So they can get off the street, and there's a bus station here, so they can jump on there. Second loop out, let's do another one. We'll kind of do 2 per section here. Kind of, that's not where I wanted to go. Kind of like this. Kind of stay on the inside here. Something like that. And we'll do 1 on the outside. We'll do 3 here, 1 in the middle, 1 on each end here. I think that'll work out rather well. Something like so. And back in. Now I want to do kind of the straight through buses. So put 1 on each side here. They'll go around the outside here of the inner one, and then go back out. 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. Let's figure out a place they can turn around. That's kind of the issue. Like, turn around at the bus depot. That works. And then head back into town. Work along the outside of the inner core here. And then back out this way. Ooh. They'll need a place to turn around down here. Which what I can do is, something I've done a couple times already, is just make a road, just like a little stub, essentially out here. Eventually there'll be more roads out here. But then now that bus line can just turn around there. Or not, it might just do that, which is, it's okay. Alright, let's do the last one. We'll do the east-westbound one. Something like this. Work your way around the outside here. Down the path here. I need to turn around somewhere. So it'll come down here, loop around the place. The other bus should be turning around. Then work your way around the outside here. And back down this westernly path here. we go. So now, hopefully, they're all biodiesel buses. That's kind of the hope. These aren't all, let's say, I kind of imagine some of these are all electric vehicles, but like, you know, it's a biodiesel bus. That looks good. Looks like a lot of it was coming from another part of the town here. So what I think we'll do, though, is while I'm thinking about it, because I want to differentiate some of the bus lines. So, let's see here. I do have some of these mapped out. So, I think 15 is, let's see, 13, hold on. 14 is the north-south route. So, I'll designate that as the north-south route. And I also want to make... Oh, it actually lets me select which one I want. So, S route, enter. What color do I want to make this? I'll make this one red. A nice bright red. Let's see here, and then bus line 15 should be the east-west route. And that one I'll make a nice blue, a nice dark blue. And then 13 should be the... Which one's this one? Oh, okay. That's bus on 11, so this is the inner loop, or this is actually, I can do this as com loop, and I'll make this a nice, maybe a nice pale color. So essentially the bright colors will be the north, south, east, west routes, and then the pale ones will be the inner loops. So this one should be the, if we zoom out a little bit, hold on. Yeah, this should be the residential loop. And we'll make this a pale green. Gonna go with residential there. And then the outer loop here will be the office loop. And we'll make this like a tealish, there we go, something like that. So now we know what buses are going around here. So you can see there, this is the residential buses that are going around here. I think this actually looks really nice. And you can see here some of the more like self-sufficient buildings going up. Speaking of buildings, though, we do need a hospital or a medical clinic. Put a clinic down. We also need some crematoriums because I did notice that there are some people dying in here. And even while this is supposed to be like the progress city, the city of the future, things like that, people still will die, unfortunately. So yeah, we'll need to get something like that going here. And I'm thinking our first neighborhood is going to be to the south here because it seems like this would be the, you know, it just seems like we have more room out here. We can get some better roads and things like that out here. So I think this is where we're going to build our first residential neighborhood from the center. Something like maybe this. Oh, I built the tram line. That's not what I wanted to do. Buses working their way out here right now. It's a little bit of a steep slope there, but I think we'll be okay. And we'll do something like this. Oh, actually, I'm going to make this a curve, so do something like this. Bring it out. And like that. Eventually we'll curve this all the way around, but just for now I just kind of want to leave it like so. About halfway, and then that's probably a little too shallow of a curve. Oh, that's not enough of a curve. I don't think we actually made this down a little bit far enough. Do something like that, and then bring it up. Still a little bit deep here. I'm still getting used to how stuff like this works. Something like that, though, I think will work. And then because of this, I do want to extend the red route. Is the red route? Yeah, the red route's the north-south route here. So let me look at the red route, please. There we go. Move station to there. Move station to there. Nope. Well. You know what? Maybe I should left click. That might be what I was doing wrong. Something like that. And yes, they can take the bus out here, but I think I want to kind of encourage them to use the tram more often than not. Let's see here. I'll have to do something like that, and then bring it down to here. Yeah, okay. Also want to put a bus station down here before I forget to. I think it would work a little bit better, just so they can get a little connectivity. We also need to put a path down here so they can get from this road here up to the main road. Something like that should work. And now we'll see. We got to name this tram line a little bit different. Well, so this will be the South Res line, and the South Res line. Let's see. It's supposed to be green. We'll do a nice pastel green like that. And if I spelled South right, it would look a little bit nicer. UT. There we go. South Res line. And then that should. See if we got any trams spawning it. We do. Look at that. Look really nice down through here. I'm actually getting kind of proud of what we've got done so far. It looks really nice, and I think it'll work. So we'll just follow this tram down because that's not really what I wanted to do. Hold on, let's pause it. So what you can lock onto them. It's this one. Gonna rotate the camera to see where we're going. Gonna take a ride through what right now is the Epcot core. We have some sewage problems. Hold on. Let's take a look at that real quick. Sewage. Oh yeah, we just don't have enough. We just don't have enough. That's okay though. We can put some of these down. So I don't have all these put up yet. We would only put a couple of those up though. I don't have any of the new stuff that comes with like Sunset Harbor yet, which is unfortunate. But I do have a lot of the green stuff, which is very nice, and so we can get those going here. Hopefully the sewage treatment works out a little bit better. Oh, we still need power down here. Really? Figured the power would link up. Oh, we're actually out of power too. Hold on here. This is one thing about not having all your power grids connected at once, is that you can still show you have a lot of availability, but parts of your city may not have enough power. Like down here, for example, why don't they have enough power? It should all be linked up here. Don't know. I might have overreacted just a little bit, but we got plenty of power now, so we should be just fine. So yeah, let's go back and look at one of these trams and see how. So we'll take a ride, like we were trying to do, through the downtown core of Epcot out to the South Residential Zone. Also seeing how passengers kind of interact with this and the monorail station. Looks like a few people are coming up here. Don't know if they're cutting across here. They're actually going to use the tram line. Looks like they're using it as a cut through. That's nice. All right. Well, gonna see how this all works out though. It looks rather nice, I think. Really quiet too. Like you really only think you hear sirens, but that's about it. Oh, look at that. Oh, we actually upgraded our college to level 2. That's pretty cool. Ooh, this is a little bit of a steep hill, but nothing too awful bad. I guess we can kind of live with that. We gotta get our descent down into the new residential area. Oh, looks really nice. I think it does, at least. And I'll just, come up here, make a left. Looks like it's queuing. It's waiting for a train in front of it to head out, and then it'll stop here. And this is South Residential Zone. I think that'll work out really well. Also, something I wanted to do here. I don't know. Did I set this to be self-sufficient? businesses. I don't think there might be a policy for Epcot. Let's see here. Policies. City planning. Don't see it on there. Also use the power and water usage there because I think that might help a little bit. Recycle plastics. It's not bad. I don't see it on there, so it's going to be in the districts area. Essentially what I'm trying to do is make it to where... I don't see it in there. It's all industries. This is commercial specialization. Organic, locally... local produce. Changes commercial area to consist of buildings like organic produce shops, electric car charging stations, and such. Products or produce 50% of the goods. Truck traffic in the area reduced by 50%. Increases electricity consumption and reduces garbage production. That's what I wanted. I was a little confused by the tractor there. I thought that might be like a farming thing, but that should reduce kind of a lot of stuff. I know our commercial building is going to be kind of a lot of it's going to get deleted here shortly, but then we'll have new ones being built here. I think it'll look rather nice. I think I just remember that my message still says I'm playing Stardew Valley, which for the follower ones is like ugh. But no, I think I'm cutting. I think this week I'm going to start cutting back Stardew just a little bit to one a week. I've been really enjoying it, but I think I want to start playing some other games on the channel. And I think this week I'm going to have to redo my mic setup just a little bit to do it. But I want to play some BattleTech. Well, play some BattleTech technically. But I've been wanting to play MechWarrior 5. I have the game. I've had it for since Christmas. I think about the week after Christmas. And I've played like 5 or 6 hours of it, and it's a great game so far. But I think it's essentially something like this where it's going to be a longer game. If I kind of not force myself to play it, but I set myself down, I'm like, all right, I'm going to play 3 hours of this game no matter what. I think then I would enjoy it more because I'm sitting there like, oh yeah, I'm actually sitting here, talking to other people, talking about strategies and things like that. But I'm also dedicating at least 3 hours a week to it. And that's kind of how a lot of these games were. Like when I started playing Stardew Valley, I really wanted to play more Stardew Valley. When I got back into playing Evil Genius, I went and beat it twice while I was doing the live streams on here. Hey, we upgraded the forestry area. But it was things like that. It's like I wanted to do more, play those games more. It kind of got me back into these games, and that's what I'm kind of hoping with the MechWarrior one. If we also want to play BattleTech, I have BattleTech 2, and I have all the DLCs for that one. That's a great game, and I'd love to play it on the channel sometime. But for right now, I don't really see a way to do it, because we can play story mode or we can play the Iron Man 1,000 day mode, which I'm okay with doing either one. I just don't, kind of iffy on which one to do. So we'll see how that goes. Let's go ahead and start zoning some residential down here. They won't be massive houses because of how the cliff is, but that's okay. We will need some water down here, though. We didn't connect the outer belts here. We just tried to connect what we had to. Something like that. We also need power down here. I'm wondering what would be the best way to do so, because I'm not sure if the offices will be able to extend all the way down here. I still might just do something like that so that they can kind of bridge the gap a little bit. It might help, but we'll see. Seems like a lot of commercials still being rebuilt. That's why we have hardly any demand for it, which is fine. Kind of wanted to see the there's one of the new ones. It's organic trees. To me, it's neat that I see people wanting to do stuff like this, but I think there's some people that push it a little too hard. They're like, people have to do this, or it's like, if the more you push people to do stuff like this, the less likely they're going to do this. Look at that. It looks perfect. It looks like they cut the building in half and trains running through there. It looks amazing. Anywho, back to my tangent. It just seems like if you force stuff like this on people, they're not going to want to do it. But if you like set this, like this, I set this aside like, hey, if you want to, be organic, like the whole thing's going to be organic, everything's going to be electric, vehicle-wise, go for it. And they built this community, and this looks amazing. And I'd love to see stuff like this. But the problem is people are trying to force into places that people don't want to. This is healthy weeds. I'm just saying that. I don't know if that's the organic style of shop that we're looking for. Just a thought. This is really neat. I quite like this stuff. Like, I love this. Like, look how this building looks. It's a little more modern kind of building. I like this kind of style of building. I don't know why. I've always liked stuff like that. I love the wood kind of looking area. Even though in this building looks nice. It's me just kind of geeking out over buildings. This one looks nice. Look at this. Nice. This actually is an office building. Look at the rooftop, like restaurants and everything like that. I don't know. To me, I would love to live somewhere like this. And right now I live out in the middle of nowhere, so maybe that's just me. I was hoping the power would get down here a little bit quicker. What I could do, I guess, just put a windmill real quick down here. Or not, because that would really not help at all. What I could do, though, is link it like that. I have a little bit of power going through here. And once I get an office building built here, like along here, it should bridge that gap. What we also need to do, though, is start building our park. I know we need to build a main gate. The main gate will be probably on this side, just that's where I put the first residential zone at. But every like district is going to have at least probably 3 entrances to the park, which to me, and in something like this, it's probably not the best idea to use a park. But this is kind of what I kind of got the idea for. Is I admit this huge green belt that I'm not going to charge to get into, because it's silly, especially for something like this, to charge for a park like this. So let's completely reduce this. We'll do animal ethics. We'll do everything. We won't fine for fireworks though, because I'm going to set off fireworks. Let's see here. It's going to need power to a lot of these places, but for right now, I think we're okay with what I have. So let's do something like this. Let's see if we can get the curve to work. Something like that. Bring this around to maybe like there. I'm just gonna wing it. Really, this is not really as planned as I had thought it would be. Ooh, we'll kind of avoid the office buildings. Do something like that though. And really, we don't need, I wouldn't think I would need entrances in places like this. But maybe that's just me. And now, since this is really kind of the first part that's being developed, let's go ahead and actually build this one up like we would any other park. We'll put the cafe. We'll put it right in the middle here. We'll put restrooms. We'll put a restroom at each entrance, just so that people can, easily use the bathroom. Let's something like that. Information booth. We'll put them right in the middle as well. I forgot we actually have all the upgrades to this one, so we actually put the checkerboard parks here. Don't have any fishing piers, unfortunately. Put some gazebos down there and there. We'll put some on either end here, there, and there. Let's see here. The climbing frames, I think we'll put 2 on each end. Something like this. And the trampoline park we'll put right smack dab in the center here. Because I really forgot we actually had upgraded those parks completely. Like Trapezoid Park and Evergreen Terrace, things like that, are all completely upgraded parks. So, yeah, I mean, so we have already everything unlocked. So we just gotta make a nice winding path through here, so that this is not gonna be zoned. So I think we'll be okay with putting some nice, cool pathing through here, and then we just kind of bring it out to the road here. Something like that, so you guys can, people can walk through the parks here and make it look all nice. Looks a little more organic this way too. I kind of like that look. So let's do the same on this side too. Something like this. Gonna wind the path up back towards the park here. If we have multiple connections out to the outside world, that's okay too. And then we can even do maybe a little branch here. And just kind of bring it around like so. Like that. Also, I do want to put a little path out to the main road here. There we go. Yeah, I think that looks really nice. This is kind of a steeper slope, but even with the steep slope here, I'm not a huge fan of how it plateaus, but having like the retaining walls there actually make it look somewhat decently. Yeah, I think that'll be a great little park there for us, and I think we'll do something like this in all 4 quadrants when we get when we actually get the rest of the place built. It looks like all this is now powered, so we can just go ahead and delete that. I want to see how these houses look. So a little more on the not a huge fan of them. I mean, fair enough, they're sustainable housing, which is neat. But I to me, that I kind of like the high-tech housing with the solar panels and like that on there. I think that looks a little bit better than these houses. Maybe that's just me. And maybe as they grow in their density, I actually might enjoy them like a little more of the buildings. So the basic ones, I'm not a huge fan of. Maybe some of the other ones I'll like a little bit better. Go ahead and zone this street as well. Kind of just this end here. Because I don't want to expand out too far that way yet. Because if I get too far from power and things like that. So, yeah. So it's not going too bad. We've already gained about 8,000 people just in this section. Looks like, well, in the city overall. But so we haven't really done much over in anywhere else. I would suspect that this guy needs water up here. I would suspect that not really much else is happening over here. So what we got over here? Are we out of oil? Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. So this is what happens with the ore and the oil. They do run out of natural resources pretty darn quick. And when that happens, well, you have to start drilling elsewhere. So let's get these back up and going. That last one still was producing oil, but at this point, it's not really, it's not going to make much of a difference. So we'll move them all to kind of that middle area here. I think there is a mod that allows like the just infinite pumps. There's infinite resources there, which is nice. Just because like farming in forestry is kind of renewable, so they can continue going because they can replant stuff. Oil and ore, unfortunately, are not quite like that. So, gotta be kind of careful with how we do it. Oh, we get the large pumps though. Let's get the large pumps going in here. You guys are still estimating they can do about 8,000 units, which I'm okay with. Also, try to drive another road down through there, and we'll put some more pumps on this street here. Not a whole lot, because we do still need some other stuff too. Do we have the petrochemical plant? Don't think we do. But I think one of these was producing pellets, I thought. Maybe not. So maybe we do need to get something like that in there. get 2 of them in there, so I don't think that'll work. This oil, that's more storage. Alright, cool. So there's that. Get that going again here. I created this recycling plant and the garbage incinerator just for this part of the city. I think that'll work out better than most. Let's also look at our forestry section here, since we really haven't been back over here in a little bit. What are we lacking to get up to the next level here? We are lacking in workers by quite a bit, actually. So let's go ahead and, first off, let's actually drag another road out this way and down. Do down there and down there. Like this and across to there. And let's see, I think we just have to do a small sapling farm, but it looks like it pretty much fits perfectly where we've got our thing at. So, you know, if you got a 1 square difference, I'm okay with that. We'll get some more people in here working, as well as, can we make any more? We put the, you know, log yards in there. I don't really need that. Hopefully that'll upgrade that, but I know also we also are looking for, crap, these guys don't have water at all, so they haven't really been producing at all. That's no good. Looks like the traffic is not terrible in the Holly Farms area. Let's look at what other things we can upgrade here in the farms. We can get the large fields. Flour mill, I think we already had a couple flour mills going over here. Slaughterhouse, okay, that'll work for now. Let's see what kind of specialty buildings we can do, though. So bakery, I'd like to get a bakery in here. It's a pretty large section, though, but we have everything for that. Industrial steel plant, we can, but I think we'll need to go take a look at that here shortly, because we might be running out of stuff there. We can do a printing press. Might be decent to put it down here just so that there's a mail truck. I haven't seen a mail truck in this game yet, so that's pretty cool. But I think this would be good because we can get stuff pretty close to the highway, so we can get it back and forth pretty easily. Let's also check out our last industrial area, the ore area over here. This is what I was afraid of, that a couple of them are pretty much out of natural resources. Where are the other natural resources for ore at? There's a little bit there. There's a ton over here. It's very possible I might just start mining over here. There's a lot down here by where we've been building these houses at. So, oof. All right. Let's do something like this. We'll drag a road. We won't do it all the way through. But let's do something like this. And I think we've got the industrial area out to there. We do. Okay. So let's go ahead in the ore area here. Let's get the medium one. Ooh, holy cow. I mean, I knew these things were big, but I didn't think they were this big. Do something like this. And we can get the large one here. Or small, the medium ones. These are just mediums. We'd have to get rid of a couple things there. But I think we'll keep that for now. This one, I'm not thinking it's going to last very much longer. Unfortunately, I would hope to get at least up to level 3, or level 4. But I don't think that's going to quite happen. However, I think we have plenty of other areas we can actually probably get a level 5 ore industry going. It might just take a little bit for us to get over there. But I think over on the west side, I think it might be a great place to actually put another mining area. Or we can kind of move this highway out a little bit more, well, it's bypass really, and put our mining operation area. It's because it's pretty much centered right over this S curve there. So we'll see about that. I don't know. Let's see how. I know the power things are going to be an issue for right this second. Do we able to zone correctly? We do. Okay. It's hilarious because I see these buses and I'm like, those look like texture errors, but they're not. They're bright. So that looks kind of nice. So this is a level 3 house. It looks like it. It's starting to look okay. I think I like the tech cities or the tech housing a little bit better. I like the high tech housing. I think that's what it's called. I like that a little bit better still. But I do like the green skyscrapers though. I think I like those, like the housing ones a little bit better. I don't know why, but I think I like these. I like the look of these a little bit better. This one's actually upgrading. Pretty cute. So yeah, I think this will work out. And they're having a few issues. Oh, you know what? Like they're having some issues with the garbage up here. I wonder why. Because no one can get to them. Hopefully nobody uses that for that purpose, but for like travel purposes. But I guess it really doesn't really matter. But you know, I'd prefer for them not to be able to use that, but we'll see. I don't think any of my services could get into or out of there. Like my fire station's here, my police station's here, my garbage trucks are coming up through here. You know, are going to come up through here. So I don't know. It's unfortunate we couldn't really do that, but we'll see how that all goes. We don't actually have too much time left of the stream. We got about 23 minutes or so. Let's see, something like that. We'll just keep kind of going out this way. I'd like to kind of get this area done first. I think that'll, you know, just kind of get an idea, because it's the kind of the one I was, you know, that's kind of one we kind of picked. I think we'll kind of do the bottom half first, because I don't think this will take this side won't take as long. Then we'll start working up this way. The other thing I'm kind of worried about is they're going to want more commercial down here. And I think what I'm going to do, though, is actually rezone all this. Even though houses are already built here. This one can stay. But I want to rezone all this as commercial. Low density commercial, not the high density stuff. Just so that, you know, these people living out here actually have some means of just some stores that are closer. I mean, of course, they can always take the tram into downtown, or this downtown core, so yeah, I think that'll work out. I think that works out at least. Man, this looks really nice, just sitting here. A lot of green, you know, trying to build a city that's not too overbearing to the local ecology, I think is what it is. I don't know, I never studied stuff like this. I was always big into like these, you know, skyscrapers and like that, but we're always like efficiency and stuff like that. So, like when I was in engineering, so if I remember correctly, there's 6 types of civil engineering. So even within, so there's basic forms of engineering. So if you go to an engineering college, you've got civil engineering, electrical engineering, mechanical, aerospace, biomedical, and environmental engineering. That's kind of the 6 in there. Within civil engineering, there is things like structural engineering, which is bridges and stuff like that. Transport engineering, which is road construction, road and highway construction, railway construction, things like that. And then you have city planning almost. And then you have this one I remember. And then there was like a ecology one where you actually studied how buildings and cities and all that impacted the local environment, which I never really got into that much. I was more on the structural side, stuff like that, because I always wanted to go into amusement park design, which is kind of an odd offshoot of structural engineering, but still a rather fun one to do. So let me zone a little more while I talk here. But yeah, so the ecology stuff like that is something you have to take a look at. It's something, you know, every engineer should be aware of. But I don't think, you know, they really don't talk about too much about impacts on land and things like that. But maybe that's just me. I think it's an interesting thing that, you know, I wouldn't probably be good at it. But I think it's still worth looking at. So, but it looks like this city's actually sprouting up pretty well. I'm kind of proud of that. Let's start, also just keep zoning around here. Because they will need more and more shops, because I can't, it seems like, as fast as we can build one house, they're building 4 or 5, of the, 4 or 5 more, commercial zones, which is nice. Just gonna take a look at them. Are those shipping containers? That's what those are. They cut like the side of a shipping container out and made like an outdoor restaurant. That's pretty neat. And hey, if an apocalypse ever happened in this place, they already have like a great home, so pretty cool. We had some issues with anything else. What have I banned over here? Hold on, let's see what I got. Hold on. Policies. What did I ban over here? Oh, I did this in Old Town District and... Oh crap, did I make that? Oh crap, hold on. Did I set that as a citywide policy that it's electric? Ooh boy. That's not quite what I wanted to do. That's what I was afraid of. I thought I set this as district only as electric vehicles, but I think I actually set the entire city to be electric vehicles and no combustion engines. Whoops. That's my bad. Alright, well, I mean, technically our city would be healthier for it, but hey, look at the Jeeps. We can't live without Jeeps. That's a thing in my city that I'm going to stick by because I own 2 Jeeps. But that's just me. Let's actually get some post offices. We had enough post offices. I think we needed more sorting facilities, though. So if you look over here, let's look at this one sorting facility over here. This one, I mean, it's sorted enough. Still trying to get enough stuff over here. Not enough buyers for products. What can we use animal products for? I know they're using it over here at the bakery. Let's just increase this. What you can do is increase the production rate to 150%. So it looks like if we had more, if we can put more animal product in there, more flour in there, and more crops, of course, we can produce more pastries and make more money that way. So hopefully that'll be true here. So it looks like downtown Friarsburg is doing pretty well. I think I need to put some like unique buildings over here. I think that'll look really nice. And look at that. That looks. Can we put the Eden Project maybe over here? That would be kind of a cool thing to put over here. I don't think that's unlocked yet. I was just kind of looking to see what possibly we could put over here. We could put the Modern Art Museum. We could do something like that. That'll fit in with this area. I think, or maybe even the what is this? The Cathedral of Plentitude. Yeah. So this is actually part of the Eden Project. You do need to put that up. So I might put that somewhere. Where though? Not 100% sure, but I think it'll work somewhere around here. We'll figure it out sometime. And I just realized I don't have a road going out here. I do need to put one of those in. Let's drag this out like so. So at least we know kind of where the end of this city is going to be. So yeah, doesn't look too awful bad. Let's go ahead and zone, or at least get the road for this next section done. Something like this. Bring it out. Let's bring it a little bit further. And curve it. Curve it. Like so. And I think we can just bring it straight in. Let's actually not do snapping here. Like that. Not perfect, but I think that'll work. Same way over here. Bring it out here. Ooh, it's way too tight. We might lose some zoning over on the near side there. But right there should be okay. And in. With the last arc out here. there. And then, how snug can we make this to there? Don't know. Let's try and back it up a little quick and do something like this, and then bring it into there. Yeah, there we go. So that's our kind of our or like our first residential arcs partially completed. So I imagine a city like this, like it would take, you know, years to develop a city like this. And this is really no different. We're still slowly filling in housing as demand grows for it. So something like this. We're not even halfway through this arc yet, but you know, it still looks really nice. I really am enjoying how this is coming together. I didn't know if this was going to work. I said this a little earlier that I was going this one kind of completely blind because I didn't know if something like this would even be worth trying. But I've also noticed something though, and maybe this is just me, that these aren't really high density commercial buildings. And that's unfortunate because like you have these huge towers around it and then this like real low like center here. I don't like that. I guess what I could do, I don't mind leaving the outside ones like that, but I think what I want to do is actually redo the core here. Kind of core out the core. Like this, and make these buildings, and I'll just call this like Epcot core. Core all this out. Pause that. We'll do out to the spokes, like that, and kind of just well, that's actually essentially what I want to do is add a new district in here. And I'll name this one Epcot Core, and these core buildings around here will be able to be the high density commercial buildings that I wanted them to be. I was kind of hoping there would be high density, like locally organic ones, but I guess not, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. We'll figure these things out like this as we go along. I mean, if that's like the biggest issue we have for this kind of futuristic city, or core city, whatever you want to call it, I'd be okay with that. So let's there. So this is not called Pine District. It's going to be called Epcot Core. And policies. We'll still have things like electric vehicles and combustion ban. Let's see here. Services. I don't think we put anything else on. Recycled plastics, of course. Stuff like that. I'm not really... I think something like that will work. And then I'll make sure that this is just set to no specialization for commercial buildings. There we go. So hopefully here we can actually see some of the real high density ones pop up. I think that's maybe why we had such a demand for commercial all of a sudden, because we were getting rid of all these high density ones and we weren't really building any new ones to replace them. Look at this housing. It looks amazing. A monkey in the middle of downtown? That's never good. So yeah, I think this will hopefully make it look a little bit better. Maybe that's just me, because I like the big towers, and all of a sudden it just kind of falls up to this green cliff, and then all of a sudden you get these nice little smaller houses, and then the commercial buildings along there. So I think that's how we're going to do it for now. We'll see. Hopefully this will grow up pretty quick too. I don't know how it's going to go, but yeah. This will probably be at least another episode before we get this completely done. But let's go ahead and just zone along here because this should have plenty of power to go around here. I missed one over here. I did. I actually missed a commercial and a residential there. So there's that. Look at this. Looks so nice. We haven't even hit 50,000 people, or 60,000 people yet, which I would figure we would have. We had just hit 50, so I know we're getting close to building an airport, which I think is at 60,000. Hold on. Yes, at 60,000 we can build both a cargo airport, which I didn't know was a thing until I started playing this one, which I might be part of another pack, and a normal airport, which I do want to put both of them over, just across the field, right where the, kind of over here, kind of drag this road out and put the airports over here. It's kind of the idea. We might probably put a highway connection in there, especially for the cargo airport. But yeah, I think we're getting towards the end here, so I think I might call it here, since it's going to be waiting a lot just to watch these things grow. So we'll go ahead and save the game here. We'll do an overview real quick, just kind of how the city goes. So we'll start over here in like on the Holly Farm. So we actually did get a nice industrial zone going here. I've actually been working out pretty well. The bakery seems to be doing really well. Still trying to work on getting the printing press going as well. We also have our Lynch Institute of Liberal Arts going here. We did upgrade that once. We didn't upgrade it completely though. We could actually, since we got a couple of minutes, I know, kind of iffy here, but we can do, just do some, let's see, the outsource study, will that fit in there? It will not. We'll put the fountain out here. What else we got? Liberal Arts Gymnasium. We'll put a gym out here. The cafeteria, always a great place. One of my favorite places on a college campus. There, and then the outdoor study. Can we squeeze it in there? We just can't. All right, hold on. Can we delete this path and have enough room to put the outdoor study there? Because I think that'd be a great place for it. Oh, we can. Hold on. Let's put it on the roadside so we can snap it to here. And then we can drag the road out this, or drag the path out this way. Come on. It's not going to let me, is it? Oh, we are so close to getting this perfect down through here. Something like this until it tells me no. Something like that. And I don't think I can cross. Can we move this dormitory then real quick down there? And then move this and link it up to here. Let's go ahead and delete. We already deleted it for us. Let's go ahead and move. I'd like to move this all the way down to the end here. And try to squeeze this one. I'm going to delete a farm, but I think that's kind of how I want to do it. I want to de-zone these couple of farms here, just so that we have a little there. So there we go. We have another upgrade to the college there. The attractiveness has almost gone up to where it should be. Let's go ahead and give it some more money for some research. So there's the Lynch Institute of Liberal Arts. Let's see if there's any more policies we can give it to help out. It doesn't look like it yet. So yeah, so that's there taken care of. So the next area we got here is the lumber mill area. I don't remember what we called this. This was called the that's the forestry main building. What was the district called though? It's called the Concord Forestry area. So pretty simple here. Making quite a few logs. Kind of slow right now, but that's okay. Downtown Friarsburg really didn't change too much. We did get rid of the university here so that they can actually go out to the real universities. Pretty much just kind of left this one alone, really. Kind of the next one we got over here is Garnet Heights actually became a actual ore industry. Looks like it's still producing quite a bit of ore too. How are we doing? Industry information. So we got the workers. We're just kind of waiting to pull more material out. So that looks really nice. West side didn't really change too much either. We got a few more houses down through here, which did help us get to that 40,000. But the chestnut oil area is a little bit of polluting, but we have been getting a lot of oil out of here. We're starting to run a little low over here, though, unfortunately, so we're going to have to find a new spot for some oil. But it's been going pretty well. But this is kind of our main section that we really worked on. This is kind of the experimental green city that we've been working on. I thought about calling it Progress City, but I think more people would know it as Epcot. So I've renamed the whole place as Epcot, and I think it's been working out pretty well. So the main way you get here is actually via monorail. So we do have a monorail station dead center of the town here. And as you work your way out, eventually this will regrow up as a nice, dense commercial zone. Outside of there, we do have some self-sufficient green housing, high density, of course. Then you have your office spaces, all technical facilities. Very nice. I kind of like how these buildings look. And then outside of there, we do have a green belt. So this is sort of the first prototype of what the green belt should look like once it's all completed. Just a nice area that kind of contrasting these huge tall skyscrapers and the concrete jungle it kind of creates in between them. And then we got some nice self-sufficient residential housing and some smaller commercial zoning. And eventually this is just one quarter of it. I'd like to get all this filled out like this. But something else that was kind of big in Progress City was the people movers and these electrical vehicles that move people to and from the core to the residential zones outside. Now, unfortunately, we don't have people movers in this game, but we do have trams that I think are a pretty good substitute. So the trams do take people into and out of the core of downtown. And we do have some biodiesel buses that'll take them around a little bit closer to the destination, I think. So I think that works out really well here. So yeah, that's pretty much what we've done this episode. I really like how this is turning out. Epcot seems to be actually growing, or have grown out pretty well. I did notice that, and then this whole thing's Epcot except for the Epcot core. The Epcot core is a little bit different, just so we can get that high density commercial going on there. So yeah, that's pretty much what we've done this game, or this stream so far. Go ahead and save the game, and then I've already got it paused. There we go. Switch over to the main camera here, guys. Thanks, guys, for joining me today. I had a couple people talking away in chat. That was pretty neat. Yeah, they were playing City Skylines along with me, which is awesome. That's kind of what I wanted to do with this stream. I really wanted people to be able to hang out, chat. If they wanted to play the game along with me, great. I'd love to play some more multiplayer games. Maybe get a couple of the chatters in, just to, things like Minecraft, something like that. I think it'd be kind of fun. But Thursday, I'll be back at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to play some Stardew Valley. This week, it's only going to be Thursday. On Friday, we are actually going to try. Still working on a couple things with it, but I'd like to play some of the MechWarrior 5. I've even got a joystick throttle control, so a little more realistic that way. I've always loved playing MechWarrior with those. It's getting a little rusty with them, so I'm starting to knock off the rust with it. I've been trying to get also a joystick visualizer so you guys can see what I'm doing with the joystick during the mission or the missions. And I'm hoping to do that on Friday. I'm going to do like a couple of tests throughout the week here, just to see how that will go. I think you guys will really enjoy that. So we're doing 3 games this week, just to kind of mix it up, so we don't, we're not getting in the same trend of doing the same thing over and over again. So guys, thanks for joining me again today on the stream. If you're watching this later on YouTube, I do appreciate that as well. Leave a like and comment, and please hit the subscribe button. I really do appreciate that. And also hit the bell, so you'll be notified when I go live on I don't think you'll go live on Twitch. I don't think it gives you that alert, but I'll be giving an alert when I post a new video. I usually try to post a video the day of the stream and the day after the stream. So keep an eye out for those guys. The best bites will come out later on today, and the stream itself will probably come out tomorrow around noon or 1 o'clock. So yeah, thanks for guys for hanging out with me today. I'll see you guys on Thursday for some Stardew Valley, and you guys stay safe out there. Have a great rest of your day, and have a great Wednesday, and I'll see you guys on Thursday then. Bye for now.